Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. I hope you're all happy and healthy, doing the things you love. It's deadline day, guys. It's deadline day. I've got a couple of little spots popping up all over my face because of, well, the same reason essentially as to why I couldn't bring you any content Saturday night or Sunday, and the same reason why my throat has gone a little bit into a few people. Let's just say my kind of people. And, well, the less said after that, the better. But we've got things to talk about, guys. We've got things to talk about. Content did have to content. And now I'm a little bit, I don't know how to say this. I'm a little bit concerned because I haven't seen the videos yet. I haven't seen the videos. But there is a video that I caught of talking to, I came out of the stadium and how do I start this? So I came out of the stadium and I saw Tobes, Tapping Tobes, sitting down, and he waved me over. He was doing his video, right? And I was belted. I was absolutely, content's got a content, but drinks have to be drunk, especially when you get the train. And so I'd just been thrown out of the stadium for having an argument with someone, and so I was riled up. Then I go on to Tobe's thing. I don't remember basically anything about it, but I did watch the video. I saw the video, and yeah, I looked like an absolute snake. So after that, I then go and take the. I go downstairs, and there's a father with like two dads with three kids, three boys that are about 6 years old, right? And I will put it up, pending it doesn't look sensationally bad. But I'm down on my knees. I'm a big lad, like, bending down, trying to interview them, and I was struggling, guys. I was really struggling. And then about 30 seconds or a minute into the interview, Richarlison drives past, and someone on the street goes, Richarlison, and then the three kids didn't seem like that interested in doing the interview anyway. I think it was more for like their dad wanted me to do it, or one of their fathers wanted me to do it. And they abandon the interview halfway through to go and see Richarlison, who's stuck in traffic on the highway. So I'm laughing my head off. about the fact that I've been little broed by Richarlison, essentially. And then, by the way, I'm going to come to the Kolo Muani story in just a second. But and then, so I'm like suddenly snap back into reality and go, content's got a content. Content's got a content. So I run over, probably absolute, like, steamrolled through people. Got my camera, put the mic in his face because his window was down. And I asked him to say something like, say big up to the Spurs Talk Show, Richie. And he just goes, like, this pisses me. Either because he knows I've given him a hard time, or because he's never seen me and he's like, get out of it, not doing it. And then I went back in for a second attempt and asked him what he thinks, how many goals he thinks he's going to score this season. And he said, I don't know, man. And that was basically it. So I do have an exclusive from Richie. He doesn't know how many goals he's going to score this season. I then went and caught up with some lads, and all hell broke loose. And I lost my phone. I thought I'd lost all my content. And I ended up not getting back home here until about, I don't know, 1 o'clock yesterday. And then had to catch up with the bed. And so basically, I've got loads of content about the Change for Tottenham protest. What protest? They didn't even turn up. Well, I think one guy turned up from there who, his name's Billy Cairns, who apparently hates me. Apparently, someone told me he wants to knock me out, but he had the chance because I saw him. He was sat there at the wall and didn't come up, didn't say anything. Can you imagine that someone wants to knock you out because you have a different opinion about someone as irrelevant as Daniel Levy? Quite strange behaviour. Anyway, so, but then I caught, like, it's like half an hour worth of content. There was no one there, guys. No one from Change for Tottenham was there, apart from him. And he wasn't like, he was like, Banner. If you didn't know, and I only found out from Billy T that Billy Cairns was one of the 10 guys who runs the thing, you wouldn't have known that he was part of it because he was just sat on the wall looking at his phone. So that didn't work out. The game, we've got to talk about the game. That was an absolute shambles. I mean, did we get a shot on target? I don't think so. I think we might have had one shot on target, but it was poor. Completely outclassed tactically, by the way. Like, I love Thomas Frank as much as the next guy, but within 3 minutes of that game starting, I turned to Jim Foso Spurs, who sits behind me. Shout out to him, love Jim, and the guys who sit around me, and we were all basically in agreement. Like, why are we not doing a back three here? Kolo Muani, not Kolo Muani, Semenyo, who is one of the best at the game, best in the game, such an amazing player. They decided that he could play off the right, he could play off the left. They decided to put him out on the left because obviously it made sense tactically for him not to be like pocketed by Jed Spence. And then so they put him on the right, and within about 3 minutes, it was obvious that we were going to get absolutely smashed. Oh, is the mic screwed? Hang on a second. What's going on with the mic? Is the mic better now? What's going on with this? Hang on, I'll turn it to the other mic then for a minute. All right. Is that better? Is the mic better? It's okay? Or not? Clear as a bell? Some people are saying it's clear. Okay. That's weird. It's interesting. Okay. Mic out. I mean, so yeah, what a game. What a terrible game. And to be entirely honest, you know, if the one thing that we've been championing, if the one thing we've been absolutely championing, no, you can still hear me. If the one thing that we've been championing about Thomas Frank and Cochrane and the likes is the tactical switch ups, the flexibility, the unpredictability, well, it wasn't very good. Within literally 2 minutes of that game starting, I said, "What? We need a back three today." Pedro Porro is going to get ripped a new one here. Like there's certain games where you just need to shake hands with the reality of the players you have. Pedro Porro is one of the best right backs in the league. He's probably the best right back in the league at half of the things that a right back needs to do. But he is absolutely vulnerable to left-wing take-on specialists. And if you happen to have a team that can switch up the player and can move it and be dynamic in that regard, or has two of the above, you can only use Jed Spence on one side, and that's better on the left because if the left winger is equally dangerous at going down either side, then Jed Spence's power play is to be as a left back where he takes people on the right hand side. He shows them on the inside and then pockets them. Porro can't do that, and so we were tactically reworked. And then of course you hear that. Well, look, maybe blessings come from bad situations. Out of adversity comes opportunity. You hear that Dom Solanke's gone down for months with a bad knee injury. And today, I mean, thank God it happened yesterday and not, or Saturday and not tomorrow, because we'd be screwed. But I absolutely think that, there's a chance here for something really special to happen. And that is what's going to happen, hopefully, when you just find out that, where we're going to come to in just a second, the transfer news, views and clues that is popping and hopping all around football. Guys, I'm going to be with you as long as I can today. At 3 o'clock, though, I'm popping across to Football Inc. So if I'm still here at 3 o'clock, then we'll redirect across there for an hour or an hour and a half, whatever. And then obviously Spurs 5 tonight. No Sava. Sava's on holiday. Johnny's on holiday as well, but Johnny's dialing in. And it's going to be spicy because, man, the amount of differing takes on what happens when there's bad news. Like Sava texted me this morning saying, or text us in the Spurs 5 WhatsApp group saying, if the window finishes like this, obviously this is before Muani's story, can we all agree that it's been utter ineptitude and failure? And I was like, what? No. Absolutely not. He's like, it's ineptitude. Oh, what was it? Oh, sorry, ineptitude and incompetence. I was like, absolutely not. If you're talking about not having got a replacement for Solanke, it only happened 24 hours ago. So I was like, what's that? You know? And he said, no, it's complete incompetence, Sean. And I was like, listen, people on my channel might be, the audience on my channel might be slightly more glass half full, but I think that most people would make this argument. A number out of 10 would be something like 6, right? Let me, I'm going to come across to all the news, views, and clues in just a second, guys. I want to say hello to some people as well. Before I do that, I just want to put a quick, sorry, I'm a little bit rushed and ragged today because Bugsy had to go to the vet this morning as well. And I've still got the beers coming out of me from Saturday. So I'm a bit ragged, and you throw me off with the whole microphone thing. I'm now using my computer mic, which is a load of shit. So let me start a poll. One thing's first. First thing, as they say, is first. And I need to do this. What is the window as of right now? That's as if no more leavings, no more. We're doing it. I'll say 2. No, I'll say 0 to 2, 3 to 5. You know what? Fuck that. It's easier just to put in a number. Just stick in a number, 0 to 10 or 1 to 10. I'm all over the place today, aren't I? I can feel it. This is going to be a real shambolic, shoddy effort from me. But you know what? Content's got a content. I might even have the audacity to pull up that video in a minute and show you. So this is if it stays as it is. If it stays as it is right now. So we're saying 7, 7, 7, 2 out of 10 for Lazunk, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8. Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with you. If it stays where it is, 7, 6, 7, 8, whatever. I'm not so bothered about people going out. Like a lot of people are saying, well, we haven't got rid of anybody. At this stage, I think we need the people we haven't got rid of. So like, I'm not that bothered about outgoings. Are you? Let me know. 1,400 people here, guys. Big up to you all. Yeah, guys. So I want to by the way, I put the link out to a few people so they want to join. If not, I'll put the stream out. I'll put the link out to the members as well if they want to come on. Just a free for all. Just see where we're going. And if we do sign Kolo Muani, in fact, let's start with the story. Oh, sorry. One other thing. I'm all over the place. One other thing I've got to talk about. Today's show is sponsored by OK Jersey. If you can see there, guys, in the top left-hand corner, if you go to okjersey.com or you use the QR code on the screen, you can go there and get any replica shirt you want. Chavy number 7 shirts are ready to go with Tottenham stuff. I think it's £15 a shirt. Plus, if you use the code at checkout, Sean, SEAN, then you get 8% off as well. We gave out 3 shirts. By the way, to those people that won the shirts, if you have emailed me, I'm sorry I haven't looked at my email because everything's gone mental the last few days. Shirts. okjersey.com, £15 a shirt. Any shirt you name, all that stuff on the back, number, all the badges and all that stuff. And it's 8% off with the code Sean. So please get it done. Oh, it's Mike cutting again. What the hell? Right, hang on a minute. What is going on here? Uno secondo. My mic's having issues. This is like the desktop mic. Let's take this off. Is that better, guys? Is that working now? Is it good now? I don't know what's going on. Hackers have got a hack. Hackers have got a hack. I heard that nigga. Jesus Christ. So yeah, 8% off with code Sean at okjersey.com. We'll be giving out some free shirts as well with like that over the next week or so. So the 3 guys that did win, don't worry, I'll be getting back to you if you have got in touch. Let's look at some of this transfer stuff. The news, views, and clues. We knew that in the end, it looked like Newcastle were going to get their guy. and they got their guy. Not Newcastle, Liverpool were going to get their. Let's take a little cheeky look-see right now at Fabrizio Romano. He's the guy we go to for the semi-tap-ins, although he's been wrong. Did you see? By the way, did you see the argument, the ITK argument between some Newcastle guy who covers the northeast of the Telegraph and Ben Jacobs? He said, so Ben Jacobs put out his exclusive. This other guy, I forget what his name is. He put his exclusive out a little bit earlier. And then he got annoyed. He quote retweeted Ben Jacobs' thing saying, Ben, just for once in your life, mate, can you actually reference the person who broke the story first? And Ben responded going, yeah, actually, mate, to be honest, like I congratulations on being first, whatever, but I put out my story based on the sources I've got, not you. So, it is what it is. Anyway, then everybody else has been retweeting him saying, to be fair, bro, you've been wrong the entire summer. And he had like a series of tweets saying, he was saying Isak's not going anywhere. I can't say this loudly enough. Isak is not going anywhere. And then eventually he turns around. It's absolutely hilarious because ITKs have got our ITK. And you know what? Most of them don't know what they're talking about. Of course, that means this time.
Yeah! Come on, yeah! Sources, everyone has a source. They're never right, but we'll share them, of course. I know a guy who knows all the discourse. Content's got a content, and trust me, bro, it's my source.
Is it going off again? Is my mic going off again? What the hell is going on here? It's just a normal stream. Mike is intermittent as a Richie goal. Oh, Jesus Christ. Luke Edwards was the guy, yeah. Let me know if the mic's... I might have to, everything's normal, though. I think everything's normal. So I'll make sure... I do apologise, guys. I do apologise. The mic seems fine. Okay. The mic is half cut. All right. Let's have a look. See, I saw some super chats here, and then we'll get into some fun and games. I am the ITK number one, says Blaine. FU Krish and Indy Callier. This man right here touted Muani at 1 p.m. yesterday. Did you? Really? Blaine, take your flowers, man. I am the new Romano. Super Spurs ITK. Big up, folks. I wasn't around at 1 p.m. yesterday. If you know what I mean, I was I was regretting my life's decisions. Do you know what it is, guys? I've met ever since I went to Bodo, right? Bodo away. Forget about Helga for a second. The second most consequential introduction I had that day or that trip was with a certain guy who I've got to know now very well through going to games afterward. Brighton, we caught up just by chance. I bump into him. I never meet up with him deliberately. I bump into him, and then he's got all of these lads that he knows, and Connor knows a few of them very well, and Jack Perchy knows a lot of them very well as well. But I didn't know any of them, and they are all my kind of people. If you know what I mean, they're my kind of people, right? It's just let's. Whatever, screw tomorrow, enjoy today. And it's been awesome, but it's also scary. I think I'm going to have to drive. To football from now on, because if I don't have the responsibility of driving, then you know what I'm doing. I'm getting drunk. And then when I bump into them lot, wild things. Dean Law, big up to you, Dean. Big up to you, Blaine, as well, mate. Congratulations. Listen, I would love to have referenced you yesterday, credited you yesterday, but you know what? Sleeper's got to sleep. But, mate, I'd love to know why or how you knew that. Let's find out, though. It's not done yet. Dean Law. Big up to you, Dean Law. Super sticker train well and truly commenced. We love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Choo-choo to you, mate. Choo-choo to you, my man. Thank you very much, Dean. Always here. The Bears Cave has also come in with a £2 super sticker as well. Big up to you, buddy. Thank you very much indeed, my man. Fun fact, there's 1,600 people here. If everybody put in a 99 pence super sticker, then yesterday and Saturday wouldn't have felt quite as it's so expensive. If you know, you know. I'm ain't kidding. Appreciate all the love and the support. Bears Cave's also become a new member. Big up to you, my man. Big up to you, buddy. Looking forward to getting to know you. By the way, I so enjoyed the members phone-in show. When was it? What day was it? It was Friday, wasn't it? Was it Friday night? Yeah, I so enjoyed it. I'm going to make sure it's a weekly thing. It was brilliant fun. And Iron Drew, with his accents. Oh, good. Oh, I always knew I was terrible with accents, but would shamelessly have a go at them anyway. But he's actually very good, and he could just riff them off with funny, like, anecdotes that are relevant to the accent as well. It's just, the guy should be a stand-up comedian. Absolutely sensational. And also, Oscar Guinness, please. Oh, I'll take one of them right now, mate. Big up to you. Super sticker as well. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very, very much indeed, my man. Drew, the co-host, my co-host, my host. Appreciate you, mate. I'm going to let him host entirely, I think, in the future. Absolutely sensational. Drew, Trump accent professional. Yeah. Yeah, what happened, Phil? We had all that time together. Half an hour we stood around waiting for the change for Tottenham. Do you know what? I don't know if I want to put the video up. And no disrespect to the people that were on the video. Phil P was excellent on it. His dad was excellent. If I'm entirely honest, I watched the first 10 minutes of it back and I was pretty unimpressed with myself. I felt like I was when you do one take Tottenham, you should let it go where it goes, let it flow. And I think I was a little bit kind of argumentative, or like just sort of trying to be belligerent with people that were being interviewed. So I wasn't that impressed. But that's not the reason I don't want to put it up. The reason I don't really want to put it up is because I'm not sure if it's going to, like, I think the change for Tottenham is a movement that should, like, they have great publicity or they have great support on Twitter, but none in the real life. And then videos like that are just going to make it look bad. And I think there is a role for them to play, but they have to turn up to their own bloody protest, mate. They have to turn up. So I don't know if it's worth kind of shaming them like that. But Sean, you are never you're never argumentative, just a little tipsy from time to time. I was definitely smashed all day on Saturday, mate. You know, when it's game day and I'm not driving, the drinks start early. Anyway, let's finally, after half an hour of the show, or what we on 22 minutes, let's find out. Let me know if the microphone's working. Let's have a little look, see at what's going on here, because we've got some tantalizing news. Tantalizing news. First and foremost, let's just scroll down here. Donnarumma to Manchester City. Here we go. What a great signing that is for them. Congratulations to him for getting a good move. I think he'll play in James Trafford. It's amazing, isn't it? Like I say, out of adversity comes good opportunity. If James Trafford put in a good shift against Tottenham, maybe they wouldn't have done it. Maybe they would. Maybe they wouldn't. But maybe the links to Donnarumma were the reason why James Trafford ended up like ballsing it up, because I've never seen him put in such a terrible performance ever in my life. Tyreek George's move to AC Roma is currently off. Chelsea pulling the plug on a couple of deals recently, aren't they? Let's find the Tottenham story, though. Where is it? Brentford agreed deal. Come on, where are we? Here we go. Exclusive. Tottenham have almost agreed terms with personal terms with Randal Kolo Muani. Negotiations ongoing with PSG on deal formula as revealed, with Paris insisting for an obligation to buy. I mean, that's not really a problem for me. It's not really a problem. You know, he is a player that is far better than Richarlison. He's far better than Solanke as a 9. They're different sorts of players. Normally, when you have a player that can play everywhere like he can, you know, it comes with a style that is not necessarily sort of templatable by people that are traditional 9s. Although I guess you could say that Richarlison has played off the left for quite a lot of his career. This guy, for me, he's like a mixture of like a Kudus type player and a bit like a Jermaine Defoe, I guess, like just a bit of a kind of, he's a pouncer, he's a poacher, but he's also got that ability to drive. But you do want him in and around the box for the finishes. I'm was having a conversation with Johnny earlier. Johnny, like, worships around the ground that this is the mic still fucked again? Not fucked again, is it? No, we're okay. All right, good. I don't know if it's the internet or if it's my mic or if it's hackers or whatever. I've got no idea. Anyway, let's I'll get Kolo Muani stats up. Like, he's a brilliant player, but he's a little bit he's an everything guy, and so he is. He's not like a like-for-like replacement with Solanke at all. But I don't know if you need a like-for-like replacement with Solanke if you've got Richarlison, because I think the way we've been playing, the way we've been using Richarlison is a better fit for Richarlison than it is for Solanke. But against certain teams, you're not going to want that. So it's always nice to have a Jekyll and Hyde to your striker market. This guy can play everywhere, though. This guy can play everywhere. He scored 8 goals in the second half of last season on loan to what's going on here? Nightmare. So I move that across. 1 second. There we go. He wanted to go to Juve. He wanted to go to Juve, and the deal's fallen through, right? So, but yeah, look. I mean, in terms of output versus forwards, successful take-ons, 94th percentile. This is again though, like all of these stats. When you're looking at Kolo Muani, you have to remember that he's going to be compared to forwards because he's predominantly played in that role for Juve, but the previous 6 months when he was at PSG, he was playing in a couple of different positions. And so some of those stats and the style of play, all of those things need to be baked into the context of the green and red bars, especially if you're being compared to top 5 league strikers across the game who only have one sort of role to play. And those stats for those players are going to be based on the context of the way that those teams play, right? And who they're playing against and etc. So it's not always just easy to look at this and see green lines and say, oh, he's brilliant, because that doesn't mean anything, really. But if you're looking for takeaways, then look, he is someone that you can press from the front for sure. So we're looking for people that can press. You've got it in him. You also have it in Ademola Lookman. We're going to come to Lookman later on. He is someone that wants to take a player on. So, it's nice to see the passing stats if you're going to play him in a slightly different role, because I think that now that you've got no Solanke, you're going to have to figure out, well, what do you do on the left? Do you put Richarlison on the left? This is if we get him, of course. And do you put Muani in the 9? Do you put Richarlison in the 9 and put Muani on the left? Do you go back to some sort of like front 2 system, like a back 5, like we should have had yesterday or Saturday, in my opinion? Like I said, the second that we saw how easy it was to dominate Pedro Porro, we should have gone to a back 3 system. I know it's very early in the game, so you can't pivot immediately, but we didn't even pivot at half time. At no point in that game did I think we were going to win it. At no point did I think we were going to score, if I'm entirely honest. Defensively, though, he's very good, right? If he gets forward, he tackles from the front, etc. He's very good at tackles, interceptions. He knows how to read the game. I'm not going to worry too much about his passing stats because he's not going to be playing in the 10, although he can, but that's not what we would be looking for him for. So a very, 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 very good player. And I feel like I've got to check every 5 seconds to see if my time is my mic's okay. He was brilliant at Frankfurt. Sometimes though, you go to PSG for 90 million, and the fact that PSG are willing to let him go for 40, an obligation for 40, so it's not even any money up front. It'll be like a loan fee of a few million. Listen, right now though, beggars can't be choosers. I bet we can't. If this window shuts and let's say last second, right? So apparently, hang on, I'm all over the place here. I apologize, guys. The story about Nicholas Jackson. Let me get this up. So apparently it was all off, right? But apparently now it's not. Let me find it. Where is it? Yeah. So apparently the deal with Nicholas Jackson was apparently off for whatever reason because of the injury to Liam Delap. And then now it's back on again. The deal's done. Apparently the loan move for him to Bayern Munich. They've just sold Nkunku as well. Is there a chance that we could get gazumped last minute? Would Kolo Muani turn us down and go to Chelsea? You bet your arse he would. Bet your arse he would. I'm not saying that he would choose I'm not saying he will. I'm saying he would, he could. Like he's not like he's set on Tottenham. He had the chance to come to Tottenham in January, turned us down. Didn't want to come to Tottenham. Now, you can make the argument you understand why he didn't want to come to Tottenham, because at the time we were languishing in 15th or 14th in the league. there was very little chance. Probably most people didn't really give us the credibility of winning the Premier League and winning the Europa League, and it was under Ange Ball, so there wasn't a huge amount of reasons to buy in. Has things changed? Maybe. We're definitely we're in the Champions League, which is important. But I mean, let me ask you this, guys. Let me ask you this: do you care about a player wanting to come to you now, but not wanting to come to you 6 months ago? Do you think it's because the system at Tottenham has changed, the manager's changed, the coach has changed, we're playing in the Champions League, and and more importantly, that Juve don't want it or can't have him anymore for whatever reason? That deal fell apart. Is that enough of a dynamic shift for you to forgive and forget the fact that he didn't want to come here before? Was it even a problem that he didn't want to come before because he chose Juve over Tottenham, and Juve are a bigger club than Tottenham, right? The old lady, it's the biggest team, arguably the biggest team in Italian football, arguably historically top 5, maybe top 8 team in Europe. It's understandable, right, that a guy that has no connections to Tottenham isn't going to want to come to Tottenham necessarily if someone else bigger comes in. Pecking order, right? It's the layer cake. So it's not a problem for me. It's not a problem for me, but I don't rate the player to the same level as some of you do. I think he's a very good player. I really liked him at Frankfurt, but I'm not like, I mean, I think Johnny, my man Johnny, put in a tweet in a WhatsApp earlier. He said, "Oh, he's the best signing we've got this summer if he comes in," and I was like, "Nah, he's in my opinion, the fourth of the lot." Palhinha is more important than him. Even though, by the way, Palhinha was absolutely fucking awful again against Bournemouth. What happened there? He was so far off it. I thought Bournemouth was terrible. But Kudus is far more important. And Simmons is far, far, far more important. So there you go. Let's have a look what people are saying. Circumstances have changed. Take him. Yeah, 100%. I'll take him. I would prefer a loan, to be honest. Chewin is no Tottenham, 100%. 100%. Richie went back to his old type again, didn't he? Couldn't trap the ball. Couldn't trap the ball at all. What do you think happened there? What do you think happened on Saturday? It was so strange. Like, apart from the fact that Semenyo bossed our right side, our right side defensively, but we had nothing in the midfield. When we moved forward, we had no creativity, no ideas. It was such a damp squib of a day. It was so bad. I genuinely felt myself not paying attention to that much. So I'm asking you because I might be wrong. Maybe I miss things. You often do sitting in the stadium, especially when you've had 6 beers before you start. But talk to me, Talk to me. International football. Yeah. What's that about as well? We've got this massive problem, haven't we? We've got this massive problem. The last six games before international football weeks, we've lost. And not to good teams either most of the time. Yeah. Is it Danny Adams? Was it Danny Adams? What's his name? Is it Danny Adams? I think it's Danny Adams. Danny Adams, Bournemouth. Or am I thinking of someone else? No, what's the Adams? What's it? Oh, Tyler Adams. Who was the guy Danny of? Whatever. My mind. I'm all at sea today. I'm all at sea. Forgive me if I say things that are outrageous, uncomfortable, awkward, going to get me cancelled, or if I just make mistakes. Forgive me. It's one of those. You can see it on my. It's written all over my face. Look, Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C. Wednesday Adams. Yeah. Grizzly Adams. Jesus Christ. You're always outrageous. Yeah, well, I mean, if I say things that are even unusually outrageous for me. Unusually outrageous. Tell me you've got ADHD without. Do you know what? There's a guy who lives down my road, right? Guy lives down my road. He's made a lot of money in his life, and he's about 50 years old, but he's retired now. But his wife is a child psychologist, and so like she looks after. She tries to help give therapy to like troubled kids. And I went out for a walk with him and his dog, and we're having a chat. I was saying, I was talking to him about various things, and he goes, you strike me as undiagnosed ADHD. I said, why? He goes, well, the stories you tell me about the fact that you have a million ideas, but you don't have the follow through to see any of them through. The fact that you're just telling a story, and then because you feel like there's a segment in the story that you haven't fully explained, you jump off to explain that bit before you finish the story you're on. He goes, everything about you screams ADHD. I was like, yeah, but isn't ADHD just like, a new age version of like a term that we never knew about 30 years ago, 20 years ago, Oh, what's this? Bomber? What's this? Bomber! Forget my problems. We got a bomber. Have we? Oh. Wowzers. I just made a mess in my trousers. Let's have a look. You know what? The pictures aren't even loading. There's surely something wrong with my internet today. Surely there is something going on. There's not even a picture loading. Tottenham Hotspur reach agreement with Paris Saint-Germain to sign Randal Kolo Muani. Deal for 26-year-old, straight season-long loan, no option or obligation. No option or obligation. I don't know about that. I think that is a player who doesn't want to be here. I'll take it. I will take it because we got to do it. But no option? Why would you have no option? You should have an option. Listen, I've said it before. Every single... Why? By the way, what is going on with my internet? What's going on? The hackers are back, I reckon. Oh, it's loaded now. Here we go. Yeah, I personally think that is... Listen, I'll take it, but I'm not expecting him to like die for the badge on that basis. That can only mean that he wasn't interested in coming to Tottenham, and he's taking it because he's been told there's no future for him at PSG and the Juve deal fell through. Yeah, it's be interesting to see how Spurs admin on Twitter sell this one. It'll all work out. It'll all work out. Nah, bollocks. This guy is here because he has nowhere else to go. Listen, I'll take it. I will take it. And if I'm wrong, again, forgive me. Like I say, I'm not in the best frame of mind right now. I'm a little bit like, a little bit. So I'll probably be spinning this into like, we did it, boys and girls, we did it. I'm not negative on it. Oh, hang on, what's this? Fab's saying it. Fab's saying we got an option, have we? Oh, who do we... Oh, the battle of the ITKs. The battle of the ITKs. What's going on? What's he said? Breaking. Randal Kolo Muani, Tottenham. Here we go. Deal done for loan with option to buy. Clause not mandatory. Okay. Now I'm better. End the stream, Sean. End the stream. Paris Saint-Germain accepts Spurs' proposal as Kolo Muani wanted the move and out of the project. Out of the project. One second, guys. Stay there. So I had to adjust something on the fan because I put the fan on and it wasn't even pointing at me. This is sort of messed up. I mean, what are we doing here? So, okay. Which one do we believe, though? Who do we believe? Who do we believe? I'll tell you who we should believe. We should believe this guy. Super Blaine. Super Blaine. He's been right. He smashed it. Listen, I mean, I wish I'd seen your call, mate. I wish I'd seen your call. Where did you get your noise from? Or were you just ahead of the curve? Listen, you just know what happens when players come to Spurs. They fall in love like Sean with Helga. He will stay and get a tattoo of Levy across his arse cheeks. Yeah, nice. A non-optional mandatory option. There we go, just some Joe. Makes a lot of sense. Makes some sense. So we believe in Romano or we believe in... What are we doing? Straight. I don't know who to believe. I don't know who to believe. Danny, the link is in the... you in the WhatsApp group, aren't you, mate? Please come on and save me from myself. Because I'm all over the fucking place right now. I'm all over the place. I've got sweats coming out of me. I feel a little bit anxious and sick. I'm not having a good day. You know? I'm not having a good weekend. It was worth it. Saturday was fun as hell. But the guys that I were out with, I thought I left late. They didn't get done until about 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm too old for this. I'm too old. I'm thinking about going a month dry. What do you guys think? See if you and then if I do start a month dry, right? Hold me to account on it, and then let me know whether I'm a better content creator than when I'm pissed. Let me get the link. Where's the link for you, Danny? Hang on. Where am I? All these messages coming through. I can't find it. Fuck's sake. Spurs Talk Show. Here we go. Danny, are you actually in the WhatsApp group, mate? You should be. I thought you were. Where are you, Danny? Where are you, Danny? Danny. Sorry, everybody. Listen, I rate the player. I do rate the player, but I'm not like... People are going to turn this into something sensational. I'm not sure he is. I hope he is. I do rate him, but there's something about the fact that PSG want him gone. He didn't pull up massive trees in Juve. He didn't. He was good. He was all right. He got 8 goals, whatever. But if you actually go and look at the goals that he scored, they weren't like well-worked goals that he created or he was a part of. Really, it was just 3 of them were tap-ins. It's a good move. But I want to know first and foremost whether or not it's mandatory. It's an option or there's no option. When Ornstein's usually more right than Romano, right? So there's a little bit of difference there. Him or Ricky? Oh, look, listen. For sure, he absolutely 1,000,000%, 1,000,000% is better than what we have. He's a better striker than Solanke. He's a better striker than Richie. And if you're playing him off the left, he's better than Tel and Odegaard, etc. So it's a good move. It's a really good move. But what I'll get really excited about is if we get hold of Ademola Lookman as well. Who is this guy waffling? Daddy Jams Vibes. Good to see you, mate. I am Sean. I run this channel, my man. You haven't got to be here, pal. In fact, how stupid of me. I forgot to turn any of the settings on this channel on, and I've just wasted... hang about. What are we doing now? What are we doing here? How can I be so foolish? Yeah, Kolo Muani for me is a good player. He's not a great player. He's not the player that everyone thinks he is. I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. I don't... Like, Johnny thinks the world shines out of his arse. I don't. I think he's a very, very good player. But horses for courses, we shall see. He was very good in the German league. He was very good at Frankfurt. He goes to PSG for too much money, the price tag. And then he basically flattered to deceive, right? He got like, was it 20 goals in 100 games, 150 games, something like that? I'm not getting... Like, it's a good fit. It's a very good fit. But when people say he's the best signing of our summer, he's the least impressive signing of our summer outside of like Takai and Danzo and Tel and all that stuff. For me, he's number 4 in the list. Polini was more important, and Kudus was more important, and Xavi Simons is going to smash it. This guy might benefit massively from Xavi Simons. This guy might benefit from Xavi Simons. 100%. Xavi is the best. 100%. 2,000 people here, and I've been going 45 minutes, and I completely fucking forgot to turn monetization on. This is what a donut I am today. This is what an absolute donut I am. Please smash the like button for me. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. Let's get into some super chats. And I've got some people coming on in a minute to help me out because, like I say, I'm having a mare, people. I'm having a mare. Imagine if you were like hungover at work, yeah, and then your day was like captured on camera and sent out to people. I know I'm going to feel the heat on this one. Let's see. Where is he? Danny, did you get it? Danny, you got it. Get yourself on then, Kuriaku. You do this all the time. Sean, can I come on? And then you go, I'm coming on. I've just got to go and like walk the dog and get a haircut. And got to pop to France for the afternoon. I'll be back as soon as I can. Lookman needs to happen, Adams. 100%, mate. 100%. There's loads of other stories that are dropping at the same time, though, guys. 100% other people. There's loads of other stories going on here. Aston Villa are on the verge of sealing a deal. Is the screen still on? Yeah, it is. Aston Villa doing a little bit, right? Jadon Sancho. Lucas Paqueta deal is off. They made a move for Lucas Paqueta. See, I didn't even see any of the news yesterday because I was sleeping it off. Harvey Elliott will be a good player for Villa. A very good player. How are they going to do that? Loan with obligation to buy for 35. See, this is the other way that loans can be figured out, right? Like, this is the other value of loans, is that if you're up against PSR and FFP, get yourself a loan, promise them an extra 7 million, especially if you can get it done with an option. Not this case, but if you can get a loan with an option and say, like, I'll pay you 50 million euros next year, but you're just trying to improve your team for this year. I kind of think that's what happened with Girona for Tottenham, right, with Brian Hill. Not that they're up against PSR, but that concept, right? You can promise the world in 12 months with an option and say, I'll give you a couple of million now, bring in a player that's a top draw player, even if PSR and the FFP limitations don't allow you to. And look, Villa are starting to sort of move. There's a lot of business going on. This is what everyone that's judging the window too soon. Change for Tottenham. You screwed it up again, bros. You screwed it up. And I've got a lot of time for that man, for Billy T. I don't know the rest of them. Not a huge fan of that Billy Cairns guy. I think he's a bit of a donut. But the other girl, Christina, is it? Christina? Someone sent me a picture because I put out a tweet saying, where are Change for Tottenham at their own protest? And then someone sent me a picture of Christina, who's one of the Change for Tottenham 10. She was doing some content for some other channel saying like, Eze, what was it? I've got it here. Wild. I'm not going to show you the message because I don't want to expose who it was, but she was doing content at another stadiums. Eze made the right choice. Prove me wrong. And she was on it. It must be Arsenal. Is it the Arsenal stadium or Chelsea? It looks like Wembley. Actually, I'm not sure where that stadium is. But anyway, like, you got to show up to your own. Oh shit! It's on the screen. Sorry. For fuck's sake. I'm all over the place. Is that our ground? Was that outside our ground, was it? Oh, fair enough. I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to end the stream very soon. End the stream. You've embarrassed yourself trying to embarrass other people. But where was she, though? She should have been at the stage. She should have been at a protest. What's going on? Well, is that really our state? Is that you know what, I'm going to bring it. I'm going to see it again. Is that what part? Whereabouts in the stadium is that then? Is that in the fan park thing, or is that what end is that? Oh, you know what? I don't even care. I don't even care. Today's not the day. I apologise to all of you. We'll get over it. So weird, so funny. What a mug. Oh wait, Fab corrected it. Fab corrected it. So is there no? Oh my god. Oh, whatever the fuck. Whatever. I've only been to the South Stand about 2,000 times. I've only had a season ticket there since the stadium opened. No, I didn't recognise the glass. I've never looked at that. I guess I've never looked at it that way before. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. Absolutely mugged myself off. Told you this was going to be a weird one. I told you this was going to be a weird one. Anyway, let's get back to ITK wars, shall we? Because apparently there's been a correction.
Yeah, come on, yeah. Sources, everyone has a source. They're never right, but we'll share them, of course. I know a guy who knows all the discourse. Content's got a content, and trust me, bro, it's my source.
Right, let's have a look, see. Make sure I'm not on the screen as well. Get it up. Fabrizio Romano, has he updated? Has he updated? No, he hasn't updated. No, he hasn't. You guys are telling me he updated. What's going on? Which one is it? Does he have a loan option, or does he not have a loan? Do we have an option, or do we not have an option? Do we have an option, or do we not? Yeah. Sure, I recognise that statement in your videos. Oh my god. I need to go back to bed. I need to go back to bed. What am I doing? What am I doing putting myself out there? I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place. Let's carry on though. Let's see where this one goes, shall we? Let's see where this one goes. Who else can I mess up with? Who else can I offend? I'll start talking about Eze on as our player or something. Tavaleri said option to buy as well. But Sky has said no option. He hasn't edited it, Dave. He hasn't edited it. Fraudizio. You got a cappuccino, Max. I wish it was cappuccino, mate. I wish it was cappuccino. You know what? Maybe it's alcohol withdrawal. Maybe I need to top myself up here. Option, but no obligation. Ornstein said no option or obligation. I want to know what it is. I want to know what it is, right? Because if there's no option or obligation, then I feel like he's just here to get out of town for a year. I think we're just trying to get out of town. Yeah, I need to get a beer. Fuck it. That's what we're doing here. I'm going to order myself some alcohol. Danny Kiriakou, you are a fraud, my man. You are a fraud. You don't get to come on. You don't get to like ask for the link and then say, and then not even turn up. You're a bozo, bro. You're a bozo. People are messaging me saying, are you okay? Oh, someone save me from myself. Let's go. What are we doing here? Crystal Palace have registered an interest in Manor Solomon as we speak. That'll be interesting. If he goes, maybe, just maybe we get ourselves in. So, Ben Jacobs said buy option. Ben Jacobs said buy option. Just get back on it. Yeah, I'm going to have to get drinks. I'm going to have to go and get some. I'm going to finish my lemonade. I'm going to go downstairs. We got a long time to go, though. And I got to do Spurs 5 tonight. So, can't be... well, I'm not drunk. I'm just feel like I'm a mug. Anyway, where do we get to in the super chats? Big Country Chris saying, have I missed anything? My chairman has done. Yeah, our chairman, Big Country Chris, has just signed on a loan deal, Kolo Muani. And I feel a little bit better about it if there's an option. If there's no option or obligation, I feel like, I don't know. It's like your next door neighbor saying, can you borrow my dog for the day whilst I go to, or take my dog for the week whilst I go to Greece on holiday. And you're walking around strutting your stuff, trying to pick up chicks because you got someone else's dog. I don't know. I feel like it's not as exciting to me. He's still a very, very good player. But you know what? I feel like you need... I mean, there's two ways you can look at this, right? If he wants to be here, then you're going to get that additional motivation. It's a World Cup year. I'm not sure if his country's team is in the. Wait, who's he play for anyway? I'm exposing myself in 1,000 ways today, aren't I? Who's he play for? Yeah, France. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Danny, you bozo, 100% bozo. Speaking about turning up, listen. It's important for me to know. I want to know. I really want to know whether this guy wants to be here or if he doesn't. If he was the one who said, "I don't want to sign for them full time. I don't want that to be an option. I'll go there because you don't want me. I want it to be over here." Then it's like, you know, I don't know, dropping your kid off at the crash, right? If he's crying and screaming his eyes out, is he going to have a good time? Maybe. But you get the best out of a player if they're happy to be where they are. And I want to know more about this story before I get super excited, because I don't know whether he's here kicking and screaming. I don't know if he's here under duress. I don't know if he's here under false pretenses. So for me, I'm not going to get super excited about it, but he's a very, very good player when motivated. But motivation is part of the conversation here. And if he's not here for any other reason other than PSG didn't want him and no one else was going to pay the fee, then we'll find out. I'm not saying that is the case. I just want to know. Someone else to come in and save me from myself. Adrian, thank God you're here, my man. How are you?
I haven't reversed my camera on my t-shirt. Look, it's never mind. Yeah, I'm fine, Sean. I'm fine. I thought I'd come and help bail you out. So, how are you? All right? It's raining here. It must be raining. Is it raining in Surrey?
It's raining in my mind right now, mate. It's raining in my mind right now. You know, the reality in which I'm operating is certainly a cloudy day, to be honest. Let me just go a couple more super chats, my man. Let me do a couple more super chilly chats. Let's find out where we're going. Super Spurs TV, Blaine's come back in saying, breaking from Ornstein, Muani deal is done. Appreciate you, Blaine. Well done, mate. You're ahead of the Ornsteins of this world. We're going to elevate you to tier 1 status. Appreciate you. Dark Sun G says, imagine Simmons and Kolo Muani scoring versus PSG. Well, we don't know if can he play against PSG? Dark Sun G, great to see you, by the way, my man. Great to see you. And I won't miss any more of your super chats because they're all registering again. At least that part of the stream is working. If my mind and my mouth are not. Anyway, good to see you, buddy. Thanks very much. But Simmons is a baller. I can't wait to see Simmons. I cannot wait. And he's got 2 weeks. I know he's going to piss off for the international thing, but like a little bit of time for these guys to sort of ingratiate themselves into the strategy. Although I do want to ask Adrian, because you were at the game yesterday, weren't you, Adrian?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh. Yeah, same, mate, same. So let me finish the super chats, and I want to ask you a little bit about that, and then what we're doing next, because we've got a long stream to go here. I hope if I can figure it out. Let's go, Ulrika. How are you, Ulrika? Good to see you. Super sticker from you, mate. Choo to you. Miss you, miss. Hope you're okay. She's a member for 2 months as well. She says Matt Law is wrong more often than he's right. Matt Law's been wrong all day, every day for the last 9 months. It's now September. I can officially say 9 months of me mudding Matt Law for his take on Tottenham's finances, for his take on Tottenham's ability to spend, for his take on Tottenham's output, their outcomes, their intentions. He's been wrong on absolutely everything. And he was wrong again this morning when he said that Tottenham aren't going to sign anybody else. You're in the mud when it comes to... And also, by the way that he went out of his way to make out... Tottenham haven't been little broed by Chelsea. Couldn't be further from the truth. Yeah, okay, mate. Okay. Show your colours. Sub Dan 1, big up to you, mate. Choo to you. Thank you very much. And Football Heritage TV saying, awful channel. Big up to you, bro. I'll tell you what, Sava, as much as I love you, and you know I do love you dearly, mate, it was the worst take I've ever heard in my life from you this morning, saying that it was a... what was the words you used? It was incompetent and... was it unforgivable? What was the phrase? Was it unforgivable? No, it was incompetent and inexcusable. Whatever it was you said, totally out of left field and just pendulum swinging back and forth. We just signed Kolo Muani, so it's irrelevant because the point you were making was about if the window shuts, how it has, or how it was looking then. It doesn't look the way it does now, but big up to you, my man. Appreciate you. Enjoy your time in Greece. Look who we've got. Adam's on the house as well. How are you, Adam? Good to see you.
Not too bad, mate. Can you hear me okay? I've got a brand new phone and I'm in the car, so I don't know if I'm any use to you, but...
You're good, my man. You're good, buddy. What's going on?
Good. Clear as a bell.
Happy days. I'm delighted with Randal Kolo Muani. I know you're saying that like the without having a buy option, it's not ideal because it's not showing any commitment. But like, he's an absolutely class player who is going to help us, particularly in our Champions League efforts. I don't understand. I didn't
He's
understand
a
for a
hot
long.
player, Adam. He's a player that plays well when he wants to. He's a player that plays awfully when he doesn't. He can go.
Okay, he'll probably play in the Champions League, though. No, he's almost certainly going to want to put in a stint in the Champions League and try and even if he's only trying to impress other clubs to go be with them. When people were saying we need more squad depth because otherwise we can't compete in the Champions League, I always laughed that off because I was like, "What are you talking about? We're not winning the Champions League. I don't care. As long as we get out of the league stage, then what does it matter? Because we're not going to win the bloody thing. Why do we need depth? But when you've got players like that coming in, like, we could do a bit. I'm not saying we're going to go win the Champions League, but like we could put in a pretty good showing.
That's not the point I'm making. That's not the point I'm making, mate. Like, think about, in fact, it's a great example here. I was about to use Harry Kane. Right, Harry Kane is someone who's the opposite. Harry Kane wanted to leave a couple of years ago. Right, he didn't turn up to preseason training. If you remember, he was in America doing TV interviews. He came back. He was pissed off. He got on with it, and he still smashed 20 goals. Right. So Harry Kane is someone that just gets on with the job and then got his move 12 months later. There is plenty of examples of players that are incredible when they're motivated and absolutely poor when they're not in the mood. And I was going to use, there's loads of examples there's so many examples you can use, but Adebayor is a perfect example. Grouchy Steve, well done. So to me, I'm just worried about his motivation to be here, because if you've ended up paying, I don't know, 10 million loan fee or something, or 5 million loan fee. Not that I care about the money, but if you've got a player that has all the potential when motivated, but that he doesn't really want to be here, he wanted to be at Juve, all the stories were true, then you might end up with a shit version of him. I'm not saying you will, but that's the thing I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
Do you think
he ticks a lot of boxes at the same time, though? No, because I mean, I still hope that we go out and get a left winger. I really do. But at least Randal Kolo Muani can play both those positions.
he can play across the front three?
Yeah,
and
that's a very versatile player.
I'll put a video out for people to look at today. I sent it to you as well, Sean, in your WhatsApp group. I put on Kolo Muani. He scores a lot with his right foot, but he did score some nice strikes with his left, a nice one with his left foot. So I wanted to see if he was sort of 2-footed in it, and it was an accomplished finish as well. He's quick. He can dribble. I mean, he's good on a half turn. He's very tricky, actually. He's a very tricky player. But when people talk about consistency, fine. But what player is consistent throughout the whole season? No one.
Consistency. It's not about consistency. It's about motivation.
Yeah.
If you think a player has the ability to be a 10 out of 10 when he wants to be, think about the difference between Adebayor when it came to contract renewal and the version of Adebayor you saw 2 months into the new season after he got his contracts.
Well, he didn't want to come before.
That's what's going to happen here. I'm just saying, I'm really not trying to dampen the mood, by the way. I'm not trying to be like a killjoy. I'm not. I'm just, I'm speaking from, my initial thoughts on the deal. I love the player, but I want to know that he wants to be here. And the fact that there's no obligation or option suggests to me that would you come to Tottenham? Yeah, if I have to.
Well, that's a good question, because I was going to put it back. I mean, like, has he come just because he wanted to he's got no future at PSG and Juventus are messing about? Or has he been motivated to come because he's seen who we've brought in? Kudus, Paulinho, Javi Simmons. Would that have given him the edge to sort of think, hang about, this team have got ambition, I'll go to them. Or like you said, Sean, I mean, like, we never know how these foreign players are going to perform. They're unproven in the Premier League. He's got the talent. He's definitely very talented. He smashed it in Germany before he went to PSG. Different league. But they paid about 77 mil for him, didn't they? Something like that. So I think, and then is he better than we've got? Yeah.
Sure.
Definitely. I mean, all right, Slanky did well for his first season, but when I was on Savage Show a week or so ago, the problem is I've seen so many strikers over the decades I've been supporting this club that are better than Solanke and Richarlison. You know, I could name a dozen, easy. And why is there aren't that quality of striker around nowadays? I think it's partly the way they play football with only one. So this is why there's a dearth of strikers now. Because now, before when you had 4, you're bringing through 2. But Muani, yeah, an upgrade. He's an upgrade. And
the fact that he's on loan is actually brilliant, because I don't think that it's not the position that we need an upgrade on immediately. We need a left winger. We need another centre back. If anything, we need another 8 before we need another 9. But bringing in Randal Kolo Muani on loan is brilliant, because it still saves us the money to go out and do the business that we need to do. If we get Randal Kolo Muani, we still need to get a left winger. I think we should still be dropping the money on Lookman and then Kinsky.
He can do the left wing job. He takes players on.
I know, but he's not permanent.
No. And he holds the ball as well. So now that will take him on the left, with Simmons in the middle, it will take pressure off of Kudus. At the moment, it's just stop Kudus, stop Spurs, really, and just get close to Richarlison. But now on the left, he takes pressure off.
I still think we should get Lookman.
He was always, Aaron used to say, I was always marked by 2 players, but when Gareth Bale came, it was a game changer, because now you give the opposition more to worry about.
Yeah, but Adrian, what do you do then if in the next few games Richarlison gets injured as well, and let's say we don't have Solanke back until after Christmas? Then what do? You put Muani in the 9, and then who do you put out on the left? Johnson again? I can't. I don't want to see Johnson as I don't mind him being on the bench.
Johnson yesterday. Saturday.
You could actually.
Brutal.
You could actually. Well, I would like to see Johnson in the 9. And then play.
I don't want to. I think Johnson needs to go back to square one, mate. He needs whatever's changed with him.
He needs to go back to Nottingham Forest.
Unless he gets the ball in the right position, we'll tap him, because it's like his. I don't know if his confidence has gone, or his he just doesn't care anymore. I don't know what it is, but the ball gets to him, and he can't do anything. He can't. I used to kind of sit there when people said, "Oh, he's absolutely useless in every way." I'm like, he's not useless. I get you on the tapping thing, but he's not entirely useless. But he actually is. The game on Saturday, he was everybody played appallingly. Everybody did, and he was a standout low.
Yeah. How could you be a standout in the team of terrible players? It's absolutely shocking.
No, it's just awful. So I don't want to see him anywhere near the first 11 right now. So Muani's a brilliant player and he gives us options, but I still feel like we've signed a player that's potentially better than anyone we have on the left or in the 9, 100%, right? Potentially, and I'm not challenging the motivation. I'm just concerned. I'd like to know exactly how that deal sort of transpired. Similar sort of thing, when I say I'm happy for Daniel Levy to leave, but I want to know what's going on, who these people are and what their intentions are before you just jump on board it. Kolo Muani is a similar thing, and I'm not just going to jump on board this and go, he's amazing, therefore we should be happy, because he's only amazing when he's in the mood. And is the mood, can you read into the fact that there's no option or no obligation and infer that there might not be the mood there?
It's a 10 mil loan, isn't it, with a 50 mil option to buy?
No, it's not. It's a 5 million loan and no option to buy, apparently.
It's not on this. I'll send you this and you can.
What are you looking at? Because Fabrizio said no option. Ornstein said no option. Sky are saying no option. Everyone seems to be telling me now it's no option. And that's why I'm like, is that because of our club? Is that because we have concerns about the player? Is that because the player has concerns about Tottenham? Apparently PSG were trying to force an obligation. So they don't want the player. So did we pay more in the loan fee to kind of get around that? I don't know. But I'll be super happy if Tottenham can get Lookman done this afternoon. If you can get that done, then we've got a really impressive front line. But I still want to know what Muani's going to look like. And you won't know until we know, right? So,
Give us your take on what I sent you, Sean, in the WhatsApp group. Bring that link up. Because I'm only posting.
I won't be able to bring it up, mate. I can just read it out.
Okay, go on. You've got to expand it because there's a bit below the bottom part of it.
This is from Krish, right?
Yeah.
Another ITK. Tottenham Hotspur have reached total agreement with Randal Kolo Muani and his camp over personal terms. An agreement in place between Tottenham and Kolo Muani over a 5-year contract with an option to extend it for another year. PSG and Tottenham are in negotiations to reach agreement regarding the structure. That I see. This is old. This is old.
Okay. Is it old? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's old.
Yeah.
Fair
4 sources are saying no option.
enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is if that would address your concerns about him.
What would address my concerns?
Well, if you think he's not going to hit it off, or if you think he's like might not be motivated, or he'll be inconsistent, or
Yeah, but I feel like if Tottenham was to have a conversation with the guy,
Mm.
and he was like, "I can't wait to come and smash it," I think that Tottenham will be more inclined to put an option on it. The fact that there's no option, like, what's the value in not putting an option on? Like,
But the thing is,
just think about the logic, right? Think about the logic. If the player wants to come, and the loan deal was the only way it happens initially, an option doesn't have to be taken up, right? So surely, just on the off chance that he smashes 30 goals this season and the option is 40 million euros or 50 million euros or whatever, just on the off chance that he absolutely tears up the Premier League, surely the club would be in favour of an option that doesn't have to be taken up if he stinks the place out. They'd like an option, right? So they can get ahead of a potential scenario where all of a sudden everybody in the world wants him because he destroyed it in the Premier League, the toughest league in the game. The fact that there's no option suggests to me that the player doesn't want to be here. And therefore, I read into that saying he doesn't want to be here, therefore he's not motivated, therefore you might see the worst version of him.
Even if that's true, I reckon the only reason we're bringing him in is because Solanke is going to be out. Like the fact that we've only gone in for a loan, a 5 million loan, suggests to me that we're only going for him at all because Solanke is out till Christmas, and we already have 2 number 9s. Just one of them is sidelined. So I think we still go and we get either a Savio or a Lookman, whatever way it turns out today, and then. So what if Muani's not with us next season? Whatever. If he smashes in a load of goals and we want him, I'm sure we'll slap down some money.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to explain. Like, if the club, there's no reason why the club wouldn't.
It'll end up being. We could slap down the money next.
An option doesn't have to be taken, Adam. Right? An option is there to protect the loanee. And say, like, if he fucks up and does nothing, then keep your guy. I don't want him. If he does really well and suddenly his valuation to the rest of the market is superior to the option price that we put in, then we want that option to be able to secure the fact that he did it for us and no one else can jump in. The fact that there is no option at all makes no sense from Tottenham Hotspur's side, unless I'm missing some logic here. It makes no sense for Tottenham not to have an option on a player, even if you didn't want him, even if you in all likelihood didn't want him, and you're just doing it to cover Solanke's injury, and that by next summer the injury will be done. Even in that scenario, there is still little logic in the idea of having an option. It's like, I don't know, it's like saying going to a restaurant and then saying, for every main course you buy, if you want it, you can have an ice cream. And they say, and then the customer going, I definitely don't want that. Oh, but you don't know yet. You might as well just why would you say no? Right? You'd say, okay, thank you. I'm still going to say no in all likelihood at the end, but I'm not going to say no right now because, maybe I want the ice cream later on, but I probably won't. But either way, thank you. I'm not going to tell you to piss off. I don't want your option of an ice cream. So I don't understand the logic of why a football club wouldn't want an option, and therefore that must come from the player, unless even if the option was like 80 million euros. Okay, I'll have it. I'm not gonna take it, but I'll still accept the option because it's an option. The obligation you can negotiate, and that might be a problem. I hear you. So the fact that there's no option suggests to me that Kolo Muani doesn't want to be here, and he's only here because it's the best that he can get. And that to me suggests that a player that is momentary in their, motivation based in their output. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried by it, if I'm entirely honest.
Even if everything you're saying is true, even if everything you're saying is spot on, I don't mind that if he's only here because Solanke's down. It would be completely different if he was supposed to be our next number 9, the actual upgrade for what we have. You know, I think that there's merit to what you're saying. But if he's only in it because he needs somewhere to be until he can get his Juventus move, and we only have him because Solanke's down and for no other reason, and he's still going to want to show off the Juventus, he's still going to want to prove that, you know, that he's going to want to get into the France team. So I mean, I think it's a no-brainer as long as we still go and get Lookman.
Oh, listen, sorry. Listen, I'm really not trying to be a damp squib here. I'm really not trying to. I'm just figuring it out in my head in real time, and my head at the moment is pretty cloudy anyway. So forgive me. Like, I'm not trying to be negative because I think the guy's a baller when he wants to be. But there's also time if you watched him at Frankfurt when he was unhappy, he was shit. If you watched him at PSG where he was unhappy most of the time, he was shit. If you watched him at Juve where he was motivated, most of the time he was great. But most of the goals that he scored in that Juve 6-month period this year, they weren't like single-handedly game-changing goals. He was a part of a well-worked move, and you know, and he's a good finisher. He's a great player. I'm not saying he's not a great player. I need to be clear because I don't want to like kill the mood here. He's a great player, and it makes sense given where we're at, especially if you could get it done in a couple of hours like we have. And we've still now got 4 hours to try and go and get Lookman, or if we're looking to do a centre back or whatever else, move Solomon up, whatever. So if it's a quick deal, fine. And if actually it was just easier to sit there and say, all right, let's just keep it simple. No option, no obligation, because all that shit is going to chew up negotiating time. I guess this is now I'm thinking out loud. I guess this is the other potential concept here, that they got 2 hours to get it done, right? Phone up, hey, PSG, we're mates, interested. Are you interested in the player? Yeah, I'll come. Okay, cool. Let's just get it done, because if we put options in, it's going to chew up 4 valuable hours in adding new clauses to the contract, all this stuff. So maybe there's that side to it, where look, because we've got other business to take care of in the next, what are we? We got 6.5 hours. So maybe there's that side to the story, and that's entirely plausible as well. So forgive me if I'm like assuming the negative. I don't mean to be. Pete's coming on as well. Big up, Pete. But like, so maybe there's that side where it's just a case of like, it's simpler just to do a straight loan, no option, no obligation. And if he does want to come and he's motivated, then he's a fantastic player, and I'm happy. My instinct tells me that the fact there's no option or obligation suggests he doesn't really want to be here, but it could just be a case of the simplicity in the arrangement, and that then they can figure things out after the fact. Let's just get it done now. Fly over, do your medical, sign the deal. Okay, we're good. Phone down. Right, Atalanta. Hi there. How's Ademola Lookman looking? Any chance we can have a conversation there, because we need to get another one done. Hi, I don't know, wherever else. Get the centre back done. Time is precious right now. So maybe there's that side of it. Maybe I've shot my load too soon with regarding it as a negative, but let me know. Pete, how are you, mate?
All right, mate. What have I missed?
Oh, you missed me being an absolute bozo for 3/4 of the stream.
I can tune in any time to see that.
I don't know. I'm thinking out loud, right? We're working with incomplete information here. So I'm just saying the fact that the loan. Yeah, so we got the loan deal. He's done. Apparently, he's flying. Yeah, apparently it's all agreed, but there's no option and there's no obligation. And I'm trying to work out what the no option means, because I don't understand why a football club would not want an option that you don't have to take.
It could be the club, though, Sean. I mean, it might not be your concerns about Muani's ambition or motivation. It could be just Spurs. We've got 2 strikers already. He's a third. Might think if they get
that doesn't explain why you wouldn't have an option.
I think maybe they don't want to give an option, because if he blows up, then he's worth more money, isn't he?
They wanted an obligation, apparently.
Yeah, but obligation guarantee.
They don't want him.
He'll want to stay. If he can play in a team that gets him goals, makes him look good, he'll want to stay anyway. I mean, PSG don't. I mean, they're the best team in the world, and they've got a fantastic squad. So
he's also got 2 of his attributes with us as well, because he'll get very close with Tel and Odegaard.
Yeah,
I think for where we are, I think you just got to take what we can get at the moment. We can get him on loan, then just get it done.
He's an upgrade. I don't care. He's an upgrade.
He's definitely an upgrade. Guys, listen. Again, I said to you guys at the start, my frame of mind today is not ideal. So maybe I'm being a negative Nancy. I apologise if I am. But I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to talk about it as we see it. and the information that we've got right now, it begs the question. No option to me is a weird one. How often do you see a loan deal without an option or an obligation for a big transfer?
I can't remember the last one I saw, but it's possible. I know what you're saying, but it could be, look, we're just only looking for a stopgap. So that's why we don't want to tie ourselves into anything. And they don't want to offer an option because if he does blow up, then he's worth a lot more than probably the option we'd agreed to. So, and where we're at in the window, if they can't sell him, then just loan him out and then see what. Then they'll have to reassess it as well. I'm sure we can make an offer if we want to, come the time, and we don't know that detail might be wrong.
Yeah, maybe.
Look at Tel. Look at the Tel deal. No one knew that was basically going to be a permanent deal with a loan for an obligation to buy in 6 months.
Yeah, if there are concerns about his attitude or anything like that, then not having an option is a good thing. So he comes in for a loan. If he really wants to find his feet at one club and not keep moving around, he's got to turn it on. If he turns it on, Spurs will probably want to buy him. If he doesn't, we're not obliged to pay another 50 mil for him.
Hit the ones and zeros, guys. Am I killing your mood? Am I? Is my stance on the negativity, or am I just?
I think it's a genuine question. I just think
one,
at the moment,
one if I'm being like just a donut. Zero if there's a reason why maybe am I landing on something there? No, ones and zeros. Ones if I'm a donut, zeros if I'm not.
You've got every reason to be. You've got every reason to be cautious, Sean. Like I don't disagree with you that there'll be a question mark over his motivation and whether or not he'll perform for us. But it's like everything that you've been saying about, like, you've up to this point you've been telling everyone stop judging the transfer window until the transfer window's closed, right? And I think that in this instance, like, if we get Randal Kolo Muani as our left winger, I'd be very disappointed because, as you said, there'll be question marks over whether or not he'll perform for us, and then we don't have someone to rotate with Richarlison. If he's there, though, as a rotation with Richarlison, and Richarlison is still, like, he'll still turn it on in the games where he's capable of turning it on, and then we go and get an actual left winger, then I think that there's no reason not to have him there to rotate. There's no reason.
Well, you can even push.
Yeah. Sorry, go on, Adrian. Sorry, mate.
It's not ideal, but if you're worried about the weakness on the left-hand side, at a push, you can push Richarlison out there because he gives you that physical presence. And players do not like coming up against him, and he can do a job on the left. He's not ideal. He can do a job on the left, and when I've seen him on the left, defenders do not like it. They do not like his presence there. So
he's a fantastic player. But how often have you watched him, Adrian? Just out of curiosity.
Muani?
Yeah.
I watched the video today since we were interested again to refresh me, and I've watched videos
highlights on YouTube.
I've never watched him play a 90-minute game.
I've never watched him play. I'm not going to lie.
No, I'm not going to lie. I won't do that to people. But when we were first interested in back in Germany and all that, when he was smashing it, we got interested. He didn't want to come, but I did get videos up then, and now I've just refreshed myself on him. He's a finisher. He's a finisher, both feet, and he's tricky. And he takes players on. He's not what you would call like a natural dribbling winner. He's not a Kudus or an Odegaard when they're flying. He's not sort of dribbler like that. They've got more they're more very tight control of balance than he's got. But no, I like the player. He's an upgrade on Solanke and Richarlison, in my opinion.
Yeah, the motivated version of him is the best version of himself is incredible. The only reason I raised it, I wouldn't have cared if he was like one of these players that just does it every week, but he doesn't. No. He doesn't. Like, he is a player that goes hot and cold. He's a hot and cold player, right? And sometimes, people don't want to hear about that side of things. And usually I'm like, typical Sean, I would normally be sitting here saying my chairman. Right, out of adversity comes opportunity. Stole a march. You know what? He's better than, and he is better than Solanke and Tel and Odegaard and certainly Richarlison on his day. But when he's off, he's fucking horrid. He's not that great in that when he's not in the mood, or for whatever reason he can have bad games. go and look at his average rating, and then compare it to like the games when he's on and the games when he's off, and you'll see that the average is like very rarely hit. It's either he's like an 8.9 or he's like a 4.5.
Sounds like you're describing like Ndombele.
Yeah, well, no, I think before you came on, someone put Adebayor as a good example.
Yeah. So that's probably why the club don't want to commit. Then we just need something to get us through.
That's the point I was making. You don't have to commit with an option, do you? An option is, I don't know. But listen, but I also think, now I've said it out loud, I'm trying to work my mind out here. I also think that there's every chance that if Tottenham are literally getting that one done and then going on to the next, then there's a chance that they could just say, look, if we're going to go into options and obligations and all that shit, it's just going to be incredibly complex. The lawyers have got to get involved, and there has to be 1,000 clauses on certain things being hit, and we're not in that stage right now. So can we just do a quick $5 million deal loan, and then we'll talk about it after the fact? We'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll talk about it.
And that probably works best for everyone, really, because if he's for PSG, if he turns up and does well, they can then say, well, we can put his price up, and the demand might be there. If not, we ain't numbered with someone who we can't get rid of and who's a drag on the squad and going to be on big wages. So it's at the end of the day, it sounds like the impetus really is going to be on him to either get a move elsewhere or get this move if he wants to turn up. Which I think, as it should be, the commitment should all be from him to pull his finger out. If you're saying that's what he's like, I said I don't know, but we don't want to get. We've been bitten by that too many times. Especially, it's not going to be a cheap fee either.
Is anyone saying Brian Hill?
Sorry, Adam. One second, mate. There's more information to sort of validate that second opinion that around getting other things done. Brian Hill, according to Tom Allnut. Bring up this one. Brian Hill has now gone to Girona for €10 million.
Adam's driving in there. He's in the baby seat.
Maybe that just validates the point, right? Maybe there's just a lot of work to do in the next 5 hours. So let's just keep it simple now, and we'll come back tomorrow.
Adam, are you driving Gildair? Is he in the baby seat in the back?
But Matt, what a waste of money. Like Lamella, I love Lamella. Like I know he had his detractors because he was made of glass, but Lamella was an excellent football player, and to have given him over to them, to whoever it was, I can't remember, for Brian Hill, and we paid them money as well. That's a shocker.
Lamella.
One off the foreign quota list. Good. 2 to go.
Palace have registered their interest in Solomon.
Yeah, Solomon will leave tonight, I reckon.
You think?
Yeah, you know what? I apologize. I've been a miserable bastard, but I'm just talking you through my mind on it, because I just, generally speaking, I find that there's very few deals that are loans that have no option or obligation, and when there's none of those, I want to ask why. And my thought processes are like, the player didn't want to be here anyway. He wanted to go to Juve. He's coming here. It's still, look, if you can get the best version out of him, he's going to be a baller, and it's sensational.
Yeah, sure. But I think for where we are at the window, really, I think we've both got to take a risk, innit? Him and us, because we're fucked. So if it was 4 or 5 days ago, then you could say, actually, we ain't going to take a chance on you. We got time to go elsewhere. But obviously, we ain't got the time, so it's just going to have to be, well, what can we get, sort of thing. We're in that sort of territory now, aren't we?
Would you keep Solomon as a left wing option, or would you let him go?
With me,
I'd
let him go. And you know how I feel about it, Tel and all that sort of stuff. But I think you can't. If he stays, then we're not going to buy one. That's a fact. That's a fact. So he's going to have to go. Yeah. I wouldn't have bought Tel in the first place. I would have kept him instead. But that's just me. But the fact that he's here now, Tel's here, is done. So one of them has to leave, and the only one really is going to be him. Because we need to make room in the squad, and obviously we might get something for him to make room for a proper left winger.
I can see us getting another loan in on, and dominoes have started to fall on. His ex gone to Liverpool. Now the Villa thing's interesting because Martinez will probably go to Man United, and the only 2 real available players they've got is Martinez and Rodgers. Now who's going to come in for Rodgers?
I can't see us doing an £80 million deal today.
Sorry, Peter. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, mate, I spoke over you, but I was saying I can't really see us whacking in an £80 million plus deal today.
No, it wouldn't be that, though, would it? It'd be a loan now. If you're going to do deals now, they're going to be loans because they're easy to do, and then you put the deal.
Yeah, but the only reason why they need to sell is for the PSR. So
Yeah.
it depends on that where the contract falls, and it normally ends at the loan. When does the loan end? End of June or end of July?
I think all contracts end at the end of June for players when they're signed up, when they sign a contract. Because I think
So
is
they'd have to
officially-
sell him. They have to sell him in this football
I think.
accounting period, don't they?
Mm.
So it's a lot of money to
Yeah.
flog.
So
But
Lemon's already joined Man United, and I think the Martinez deal's done, isn't it? It's like it's collapsed.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it has. Guys in the chat, can we not get involved in politics, please? It's not.
Yeah.
Never a good time.
So you mentioned Solomon, you get that shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
Honestly, original mate. If you bring that up again, I'll just ban you, mate. In fact, I'll give you a timeout to let you think about what you've done. We're trying to keep away from politics, my man.
Yeah.
Both sides. Miguel Delaney, what's he done? What's he said? What's Miguel Delaney said?
Where is he? Telegraph? Where is he?
Miguel Delaney has said Palace's current stance is they won't allow anything for Gahey until replacement is secured. Good luck. You've got about 4 hours. I'm told while principles of Kolo Muani deal are agreed, Spurs are still discussing the option with PSG. So okay, that gives more of an insight. If that's true, then I'll lean more into the positive on it, because if it's just like, let's just get the deal done and then we'll come back to the option later. I don't know if the option has to be figured out before 7 p.m. or whether you can figure that out in January, or like, you know what I mean? I don't know how it works in that regard, but look, listen, on his day, he is a baller. He's an absolute baller and a game changer. But
they could do a loan. That's right, Sean. They could do a loan until January and then reevaluate it. And have a sort of gentleman's agreement that we'll keep him for the season, but we will redo the loan terms in January.
If we get Muani, Lookman, and Akanji before 7 o'clock, what does that make the transfer window out of 10?
10.
No, it's not.
What's
10.
the window already? Okay. Now we got these four starters, yeah?
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. 7.5.
Apparently, Chef Supreme a couple of hours ago said Tottenham had been close to a deal for Akanji. However, Pep is unsure whether now to let him leave. Why are we fucking wasting time with that fucking club? They are not interested. They are not interested in dealing with Tottenham. They can't, and they should. They got 1 point or 3 points from 2 games, from 3 games. They were beaten fairly by by Brighton yesterday. Yeah, I don't think he'll come. I'd love it if we could get Ake or Akanji. You've got the versatility. You've got a great player there, right?
I'd rather Ake out of the two of them.
Akanji, here we go.
I'd rather Akanji, because Akanji can play. No way.
Okay.
I would have rather had Akanji.
So fast, I can't keep up. Akanji's gone at Inter. Okay, fuck him. Fair enough.
It was rumoured, though, we offered more money. There's rumoured that Inter offered about 12 million euros and we offered 5 million more or something. But I don't know if that's true or not. I did
Maybe City would rather sell to Inter than to us.
It's not.
What did you say?
It's not.
Adam, you cut out, mate. What did you say?
In as much as I'd like one, because we're all greedy for more players. But
what do you think about this guy, Pavard, Benjamin Pavard? What do you think about him? He's an absolute. Well, he was an absolute rock star. Ex-Bayern Munich, absolute sensation. Absolute class. But I don't know. But part of me feels like he's a little bit. The goose is cooked with him a little bit. But is Pavard going to Everton? What are we doing here? You know what? I'm fully behind on what's going on. Is he going to Everton? I think Pavard's exactly what Tottenham need.
It all depends. We don't know. See, we don't know what Frank wants to do with the fullback situation. Does he see Spence as a permanent left back, or does he see him on the right? I see him on the right because when he's playing on the left against an inverted winger, it's exactly the same as playing on the right against a non-inverted winger. It's the same thing.
But non-inverted wingers are 2-footed that can cut in.
Yeah.
inverted wingers on there who are generally left on the right are generally left-footed or right-footed on the left. Right, so
I mean, go if you want.
I don't know if Jed Spence would have worked. If Jed Spence was played on the right yesterday, I don't know if he would. Not that we had a left winger that was.
If Juventus is going off as some money for Cambiasso on the left, he's young, fits the profile. Or if you're changing it the other way around, go and get at Monaco. Oh, I like Vanderson at Monaco, the right back there.
Yeah, Vanderson at Monaco is insane. I'd take him all day long.
Sean, I said this earlier, but do you know I can see us ending up with on the left? Who's going to need a club? Raheem Sterling.
To top.
No,
that'll be a last minute fucking watch.
No! What a waste of money!
Yeah.
Wow.
He went to Arsenal the last day of the window last year. They leave it to the last minute to do something with him.
He's trying to get the top 6 collection.
Huh?
Last time I think we got the player that went from Chelsea to Arsenal to us was Gallus, I think.
Yeah, well.
Is there any chance of getting Savinho still?
I'm not saying I want him, by the way.
The only way we can get Savinho is if City are willing to deal with us, and it just seems at the moment they're just taking the piss. I want Savinho.
Just to because the only deal we're just on the Muani thing. If the option was delayed in the clarification just to get the principle of the deal done, then I'm all on board it. The only reason I have any hesitation is if there's no option and therefore you have to ask why. And to me, it doesn't make any sense for a club that would always want an option and the selling club that was pushing for an obligation. If those two things ended up with having nothing, then you have to lean to the player. That's it. But if the option will get sorted out later tonight, but for now it's just okay. Can we just agree in principle the loan, get him on the plane, get him to do his medical? Then I'm more than happy, and I think he'll be an absolute baller for us if he's motivated because he's a top draw player. But now we need to find ourselves. Do you think that this Savinho deal is cooked? Is it definitely off? People keep saying it's not done, but I think it is. What are we saying here?
A lot of people this morning were saying Lookman is definitely done. So if Lookman is definitely done, Savinho can still be in the pipeline.
As in Lookman still done? As in what? Like done? As in it's a done
deal? Yeah. I saw a lot of people in your group this morning saying Lookman was done.
Don't pay no notice to them, mate. You should know by now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Savinho will get done now because who have they got in to replace? And then
no one.
It's the whole domino effect.
Unless they get Morgan Rogers. Yeah, I was thinking if they get Morgan Rogers, then they can keep Foden out wide. They can keep
Doc and Bob.
Yeah, they can all be out wide. You know what I mean? Savinho has no desire to stay with them. There's no point in Pepe said it before. He doesn't want to keep players that don't want to be there. I know someone else it seems to be blocking the move, but there's no point in having Savinho there if he's pissed off. And if he wants to come to us,
you can go anywhere you want, but not fucking Tottenham. We ain't doing them no favours.
Yeah, it's like Ford.
How many deals between now? It's 2:00, lads. Between now and 7, you've got to get the player interested, agreed terms. You've got to get the medical done, right? You're not going to get until the medical's done. You're not signing papers, and the papers have to be signed before 7 p.m. Right?
You can get a deal sheet in, and part of that deal sheet can be subject to the player passing his medical later. Otherwise, the deal's off. You can do it like that. There must be legal ways of doing it.
As long as you get the deal sheet, you've got to have the agreement in principle between the two clubs and the player willing to go, and then the rest can be sorted out after. And it can still go to the side.
Surely it'll be.
I think that only gives it 2 hours, doesn't it? Is it only 2 hours after that to finalise it?
Yeah, I think
it's not a great deal of time. Anything that's going to be happening, the ball's got to be rolling now. It's just, stuff's got to be getting done now to get ready for 7. Especially if he's coming to Hotspur Way on the traffic and getting over the North Circular. You don't really want to try and bring people down there during a rush hour. Do you know what I mean? It's bad enough on a normal day.
No, you don't want to be flying people in by helicopter at this stage.
Yeah.
I mean, like to City, they haven't got to pay for the player again because I think it's just not enough time to get to completely buy a player and tie up all the facts in a contract. So I think if City went in for him, it'd be a loan to buy. I think because it's the quickest deal to do. I think we're going to see all that in loans to buy.
What, for Rodgers?
Yeah.
But the only reason why Villa need to sell him is to sell him because of balance of books. So if they can't get register that sale before the PSR window, then it's it means nothing. It might as well not bother.
Yeah, their wage to earnings ratio is something like 97%. It's mental.
Well, the only way they could do it would be a loan till January, and then they buy him in January.
That's the they're
speed up the
They're
process.
in deep financial trouble. Their wage to
but I think their PSR is it. Sean will know that. Is it only in UEFA they're contravening, or is it the Premier League as well?
Who's that?
It's the old rules, isn't it? It's the 105 million over 3 years is still in place.
No. It's their problems are with
cost ratio, isn't it?
Yeah, so they have the same issues that that Chelsea had. So Chelsea sold, let's say, give you two examples. They sold João Felix to Al Nassr, and they sold Noni Madueke to Chelsea, right? Because Noni Madueke was part of their A list in UEFA in the Conference League last year, then that discrepancy, that indifference, that imbalance in their in their transfer balance is only registered with Noni Madueke's sale because Noni Madueke went this summer and he was a part of the A list. But João Felix was on loan last year, so them selling him doesn't count, doesn't help them out. That's why they were trying to sell Nico Jackson, but then Nico Jackson, as far as I'm aware, catch me up, guys, but as far as I'm aware, the Nico Jackson to Bayern Munich deal is off, right? So they haven't got themselves out of trouble in that regard. So it'll be interesting to see. Sorry, Pete, what was that?
I think Bayern want to loan him with an option, and then Chelsea want to sell him.
Right. Delap's injury.
One or the other. And then Delap and the injury. But if Villa violate squad cost ratio, they're only going to get a fine, aren't they? They don't get booted out competitions.
It's a fine for the first. So I'm not quite sure I understand it, but like essentially they paid the fine initially, quite a big fine for Chelsea, a smaller fine for Aston Villa. They had all these future sanctions that were in place. They have until December the 31st to get their books in order, and if they fail, then they'll get they'll hit that fine metric. But then from there, further infractions equal stronger sentences. So you might then get kicked out.
All depends what the next set of sanctions is. If it's only a fine, they might say, well, we'll keep Rodgers and pay the fine. We might be better off in the long run.
Well, that's the problem, right? So the entire fucking principle is ridiculous that Chelsea and Aston Villa have not broken the rules according to the looser, lapser, ridiculous Premier League sanctions, but they qualified for a tournament 3 years running by breaking the rules of the tournament that they're qualifying for, but not breaking the rules of the tournament that they qualified for it via, right? And so then to only get a fine that equals about 5% of the money that they will likely make from being in the tournament, and also to still get to play in the tournament, the whole thing is just ridiculous.
You factor that into your equations, don't you? You go, right, that's fine, right, we got to lose that, but we're still net better off.
Yeah, it's like I think the analogy I used was like seeing a Ferrari across the street with the keys in the engine, and you steal it, and if you get caught, if you don't get caught, you get to keep it. If you do get caught, you still get to keep it, but you've just got to pay £1,000 in fines to the person who you stole it from. But you still get to keep the same car, which is essentially what's going on. You make €100 million for being in the tournament by breaking the rules, but you only get a £10 million fine for breaking the rules in the first place. It doesn't make any sense.
So here we go for Akanji to Inter is dropped there literally seconds ago. Romano's given the here we go, so that's definitely done.
Yeah, we're not going to get Ake or Akanji. No chance.
No, and I didn't realise that the Harvey Elliott one was done as well. I thought that was still just kind of talks, but that's
it's not done yet. Is it Harvey Elliott?
I think Harvey Elliott's done. Yeah.
For Villa.
Where's he gone? Villa.
Yeah.
Villa.
You know what? Villa quietly had a brilliant deadline day. and they're the team that
Liverpool need to claw
they're
some
not.
money.
I very much doubt they're selling. If they're going to keep Morgan Rogers, and they've got Harvey Elliott, and they just signed Jadon Sancho. As much as Jadon Sancho might be, I better get that video off in case I'm going to get copywritten. Videos everywhere. How do I get rid of videos? Let's go back to
what was that one?
Mate, I need to change my. I need to always make sure I'm changing my screen before I put it on the stream, because earlier on I just gave away too much information. Oh dear! I hope everyone realises that I'm a mess today.
You know what you like.
Man City and Chelsea are buying players because they're going to probably face a transfer embargo when they're punished for breaking all these rules.
So if the Kolo Muani deal's done, do you think Tottenham are looking for another midfielder in the last few hours?
I hope not. I hope they're going for a left winger, because they're not going to sign a left winger, a midfielder, and a centre back. And I think the centre back and the left wing are more important. I don't want to see Johnson starting again. That would drive me mental.
What's the priority now then, Adam? Right. So you've got Muani that can play in the 9, or you could put Richie in the 9 and him on the left. You can put Richie on the left if you really have no faith in Odegaard and Tel or Solomon, and then you have Simmons, Kudus, Muani, Richie, right? And that sounds great. It does sound great. I don't rate Richie. Nothing's changed regarding that. I know, Adam, you love him. I know he's your boy, right? But he was absolutely shambolic on Saturday, wasn't he? Let's be honest, mate. He went back to his old style.
No, he was no more shambolic than the rest.
There you go.
The whole team were terrible apart from like 4 players. So it's you can't point at Richarlison when
I'm not pointing. I've already crucified Pedro Porro. I've already crucified Palhinha. Palhinha's my signing of the summer, but he was absolutely horrendous on Saturday. Absolutely shocking against the team, by the way, that have had their entire back 4 ripped apart. That have brought in a couple of placements here and there. Appreciate you, Pete. Nice to see you work here, mate.
I would say the priority for me would be a forward and a left winger, or another midfielder. I think we could probably get away without the defender.
You roll the dice, yeah?
Yeah, I think we could get away with that at least till January, because I don't think the options are there. What we want, the ones we're looking at, Akanji and Aki, are not going to happen. So I'd rather not buy a crap if we're going to buy it. That goes for any position, really. We can't do it. We can't get a decent player in. Just not bother. Save the money.
You take a loan, right? You take a loan.
Yeah, I'll take any. Yeah, I don't mind a loan now. Whatever. I think we should.
I think loans are the way. I've been saying this for ages. I genuinely think loans are the only way to go. Like if you're not sure, deadline day panics, but also it gives everyone a tight try.
A loan with options, a loan with obligations. With Tel, we clearly had a loan with an obligation.
Yeah.
So that just really is. You might as well buy him. Same with. It's got to be there's got to be an option there where we can say no.
We shouldn't have sent Vuskovic out on loan. That was the daftest thing of all. Because then
I don't mind that. I don't mind that because I
agree with you, Adam. I agree with you.
Yeah, but I think in the long run, I think him maybe playing a few times here during the season it won't benefit us long term. Where him playing every week in Hamburg will benefit him and us long term.
Yesterday was the number one reason. I was trying to explain this on chats with people that were saying, Vuskovic isn't going to get the minutes. He's not going to get the minutes. I was like, he will get the minutes, because even if you want to play a back 3, and by the way, as I said at the start, on Saturday, within 3 minutes, it was absolutely clear to me within the first 200 seconds of the game, we're going to get buried here. If we need a back 3, because Romero's got his own problems, right? Romero's got his own things to worry about with the 10. He's got his own problems with the central striker and on the left. So Pedro Porro was getting a little bit kind of isolated and getting absolutely destroyed. If you had a back 3, you could have fixed that. I'm not suggesting that they should have changed the system inside of 3 minutes and then going 1-0 down after 5. Obviously, the game changes. But the idea that you could have gone to a back 3 at some point, you can't if you only have Danzo, Romero, and Van der Ven as your starting 3, and then you've only got Ben Davies on the left, who's a left-sided centre-back. If Romero was to come off injured, or if Danzo was to get injured, Takai's not fit. He's not fit yet. He hasn't done a pre-season or anything. We don't even know if he's any good.
He's still a player that's going to be in the squad, isn't it? He's a player that's going to be in the squad the way they look at it.
Yeah, well, fine,
be in
but
the
when is that going to be? Right, and like,
and Takai, we have no idea, so I don't understand why you would keep Takai over Vuskovic.
It's a madness to me, because if you want to go to a back five now, you can just about do it with zero options on the right hand side of the defense, and if you go to a back four, which is what we did, you can't. Even then, if you get an injury, on the right to Romero or to Danzo, then who is the backup? Takai's not fit. Dragassin's not fit. Why not just keep this guy?
He's training now, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's training, but he's had no preseason, and he wasn't even that great when he was fit last year. So why not keep Vuskovic until January? Right, and if by January you have Takai back and Dragassin fit, and you don't solve the solution today, which we're not going to now in all likelihood, then you can. But if you did, then you can loan Vuskovic out. But don't loan Vuskovic out before you've got a plan B. It's a monster mistake, in my opinion. And if we were sitting there thinking we'll get one of Ake or Akanji, then the club are idiots, because surely it doesn't take a genius to work out that they wasted our time with Savio. Pete, I know you got to go, mate. I'll give you last words, and then I've got to let you drop. Last words on that take. Vuskovic, should he have stayed or gone?
I think it's a risk both ways. I think it could be the best move we've ever made this window in terms of what comes back next year, or the worst. It's going to go either way, isn't it? I'm not. I think the start of the windows. Well, I've always said the forward areas are more the concern, and that's stayed the same for me. I think we could probably wing it till January at least with what we got, with players coming back. That's just my opinion. They're not great options, but I don't think what was out there, what we can do now, I think is that ship sailed.
I would have kept him for two reasons, not just a centre back option.
Sorry, just give me 2 seconds before I let you come in. Pete, I'll say goodbye. Thanks, mate. Love you, buddy.
See you later, boys. See you later.
Take care, mate. Enjoy your work. Sorry, Adrian. Carry on, mate.
I would have kept him, because this might sound a bit left field to some of you, but I would have kept him because in some games when we're winning well, I would have brought him on and given him a go as DM. Because he's that good on the ball. He's technically that good. So
who sorry?
Vuskovic. I think you could guarantee him time if we were winning games well and comfortably. I don't like number sixes. Just give him a job as a DM, because he gets up, he scored 7 goals at Westerlo, gets forward, he's good on the ball, he really senses and sniffs out danger well. He
never played a 6 in his life though, Adrian.
Sorry?
He's never played a 6 in his life. You can't like this notion that ball playing centre backs can become 6s. Like, people make this argument about Romero. He hasn't played that role, and we're now ascribing the same thing for Vuskovic. It's a whole different kettle of fish. You've got to move a lot more. You've got to track the danger men. You have to be touch tight in the off the ball press. Like, there's that the rest defense is a whole nother kettle of fish that 6s have to do that 2s and 3s don't. It's or 3 and 4, whatever. I understand what you're saying, like, in that he's a good enough player on the ball potentially to be able to do it, but like, the 6 is such a specialist position. Yeah, we're saying for so long. Like, people think that, like, N'Golo Kante, Claude Makelele, to a lesser degree these days, like Caicedo, right? Not like you're never going to see those guys on the back pages of the newspaper, because if they're doing their job, they're not known. But their job is to intercept, interpret, and anticipate what's going on, and then just to feed it off to someone else. Polina is that guy. I don't know what happened to him on Saturday. He was appalling, but you can't ask a centre back that hasn't played that role to just step in and do the job there. It's a whole different.
Really hard to judge. What happened on Friday, or sorry, what happened on Saturday is it's difficult for me to judge any of the players when, for me, Frank just made all sorts of mistakes going into that game. It's really bad setup personnel-wise. Made so many mistakes. I don't blame the players at all. But when we think about like why Vuskovic should have stayed as well, we have to remember that we lost Micky van de Ven and Romero at the same time last season. At the same time. So, like, if we had anything remotely that devastating this season, we have, like, the players that we have. Danso, I really like and I trust, although I don't think he's not the player Romero is, but I really like him and I trust him. But if we lose Romero and Micky again, then you're talking about Takai, who is a complete unknown quantity, Dragishin, who I don't like, and he's not back yet. But when he comes back, I still don't think he's up to snuff. And then what have you got? And then you definitely can't move to a back three. And I don't want to see Ben Davies on the pitch ever again. I'll be honest with you. I'd love for him to just be like a coach or an ambassador or something. You know, I love the guy for his service, but I don't want to see him in the shirt again. So I really do hope there's a centre back coming in. If anything, at this moment, the fact that we've got Randal Kolo Muani now, I do think that probably the centre back is the most important, but very, very, very closely followed by the left wing, because I don't want to see Johnson either. If we want to see a team, like, look at the moves that Liverpool have made, that City have made. You know what I mean? I'm tired of being second fiddle to these people. And Liverpool had already had a better window than us before last night, and now they've got Isak. Like, it's mental. It's mental what they've got. So I don't like this.
How are you supposed to compete with that, Adam? Like, you know, when I ask people, like, you know, like, what's the window out of 10? Like, before we signed Simmons, before today, people were saying, like, you know, it depends on how you, and it is all relative, right? Everything's relative in life. If you're setting your expectations, people say we're still short. Like Sav always says, we're still wildly short. Like, compared to what expectations? Are you expecting us to win the Champions League? Then obviously we are. If you're expecting us to win the Premier League, then obviously we are. If you're expecting us to get to 5 or 6, where, you know, the squad is basically capable of, but even with the inclusion of Simmons, even with the inclusion of Kolo Muani, you're still really going to struggle to get into the top 4. So it's like 6th, 7th, or 8th, or 5th in reality this year, right? And even if you do well in the Champions League, it's maybe, you know, league stage playoff, and then see what happens, or it might maybe the quarterfinal. But to expect to get, or the 16, but to expect to get past the quarterfinal, semi-finals is wildly too optimistic. So all of these signings now, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't deprioritize anything, because you still need to get them at some point to move. You know, you always need to be moving. But when you look at Liverpool that have spent 125 on Florian Wirtz, looks like it's going to be 130 on Isak, 95 on Ekitike. They've got a wonderful replacement for Trent in Frimpong, and then they've also got you know, Kirkes. They're probably still a centre back short. They probably are still a centre back short. But, you know, how are you supposed to compete with that? How is any team? How are Palaces? How are Bournemouth? How are, you know, Villas, Newcastle's, Tottenham's? How are those guys supposed to step into that world when not only do they have the obscene money to spend because they were careful with it last year and they earned so much money, but on top of that, they have the draw of being able to pick up the phone to any player. You're never going to have a situation where any Liverpool player, any Liverpool fan channel has to sit there and ask the question, does he really want to be here? Apart from in the likes of Trent, when Real Madrid pick up the phone. There's just a pecking order, right? But so, like, what are the expectations for the year? And can any amount of signings this summer in the last 5 hours, can any amount of that really change us from highest optimistic being 6th or 5th to anything more? Like, does anyone really think we can challenge Chelsea for a second spot in a league push? It's not going to happen, is it?
I think it depends on what do we take away from. Like, for me, I said it already. I think Frank was entirely responsible for Saturday, and I think that the thing that's like the you know, we always say that the fans are the 12th man, but to be fair, like, the fans are the 13th man. More important than that is the manager, and I think that the manager in our case let us down on Saturday. And I've got high hopes for Frank, and I hope that, you know, he is able to assess what he did wrong. I think it was glaringly obvious what was going to happen going into that game from the get-go. They were going to put Semenyo on the left and have him take on Porro. Porro shouldn't have been on the pitch. It should have been Spence on the right, because we should have predicted straight away they're going to put Semenyo on the left because they're going to assume we're going to have Porro on the right. So we'll outthink them. We'll put Spence on the right. We'll put Udogie on the left, who played anyway, and he's ready to come back. And then if you're going to play that elbow defense where really Porro was a right-sided centre back, Romero was in the middle, and we were technically playing a back three in certain phases of play, because Spence was going forward but Porro was staying back, right? So if we had had Spence on the right and Udogie on the left, it would have changed things massively. Also, Johnson wasn't fit for purpose. So those, like, little things like that. If Frank is able to learn from those mistakes, then I think that it's the manager because you look at City falling apart at the moment because Pep is on the downturn. He's been outthought. He's not able to be as innovative as he used to be. I think Pep will let the City side down, and it's in that sort of scenario where we have to think: can Frank be the quantity that adds? Because you've only got 11 players in the pitch. You can go out and buy the best 11 players in the world, and then other teams can have people have the exact same quality, and it's the manager, it's the tactics that will determine whether or not you win or lose a game. So Frank has to be the one that shows us if he's capable.
What options did he have yesterday, mate? This is like I agree with you. I agree with you 100% that the tactics were wrong from the get-go. But as I said in the previous answer, I genuinely think that the reason why he didn't go with the back three, maybe it's like the fact that you're at home, whatever, and I get that to a degree. And I wasn't expecting the back three, but within a few minutes, it was pretty clear that we needed some support in the defence to curtail the threat that they had. But you don't have the options on the bench, and so this goes back to the Vuskovic loan. Like to me, I'm thinking, I know he's not necessarily ready, but if the argument is he gets more minutes at Hamburg, there's going to be an injury to Romero or to Danzo. And when that happens, we're screwed. And if there's an injury to Micky van der Ven, we've got Ben Davies? I know disrespect, I like Ben Davies. I really do. But like we do
I said the same thing a minute ago.
Definitely need something if we can get it done in the last few hours, right?
Yeah. No, I said the same thing a minute ago. I don't want to see Davies playing again. I'd like him to have his testimonial and sunset him. But I when you say what could we have done, the same thing I said a second ago. Play Spence on the right. Beat them in the planning. I knew going into that game they were going to put Semenyo on the left. I knew full well because Porro is too get-atable from that perspective. Play Spence on the right, Udogie on the left, and don't play Johnson. Play Odebear or play Tel. Like it's just because they would try and take a man on. Johnson not only could not take a man on yesterday, but he couldn't play a straight pass. His passes were absolutely abysmal. In a team full of players who were underperforming, and again, I blame Frank for this, but in a team full of players that were underperforming, Johnson stood out. It's shocking. So it shouldn't have been. It should have been Odebear on.
What happens in a world where, like, if you put Johnson, imagine if you start the game. So what you're saying is, so you start the game with Spence on the right, then who starts on the left?
Udogie.
Is Udogie's not fit?
He is fit. He played on Saturday, man.
He came on. Yeah, he came on.
Yeah,
but he's not.
Yeah.
So, and then what happens in a world where the second that you start with that formation, the Iriola just says, "Fuck it, swap Jed Spence with Brooks and tell Brooks to go on the left hand side." Then what do you do?
Swap Semenyo with Brooks.
Sorry, yes, sorry. Swap Semenyo with Brooks. Yeah. So Brooks goes on the left hand side. You can't put Udogie on the right. So you understand what I'm saying? Like it's like if they identified that their strength, their target man, their get out of jail guy was Semenyo, if you put him up against Jed Spence on our right, their left, and then you start the game with Udogie on the left, who's already unfit anyway, not match fit, then they go just put him on the left. Sorry, put Semenyo on the right, and then go at Udogie. Same problem.
Can Brooks play on the left?
It's irrelevant.
Well, then I mean, that's like saying it's irrelevant for us as well. Then if they put Semenyo, but the thing is, what I'm saying is if we did that and then they put Semenyo back over on the right, it's Semenyo up against Udogie instead of Semenyo against Porro, and Udogie is a much better defender than Porro is.
We looked better on the hour mark, didn't we? When the subs were made, I mean, like you had Odegaard had that shot he didn't keep down, went over the bar, and if Tel had scored that one with the pass through, that would have been, we would have got something out of the game which we didn't deserve. Because let's be fair, Bournemouth should have won by more than 1, 2 or 3 would have been a fairer scoreline. Which has helped our goal difference, only losing by 1 anyway. We're fourth in the league, aren't we, going into the international break? But although we were poor, I mean, like, and Bournemouth thoroughly deserved to win. Where did they find that referee? In a circus or something, like, you know what I mean? Because, like, he was abysmal, wasn't he? The only good thing he did was give, which I wanted to scream for ages, was give a couple of foul throws, right? Which I thought, thank God he's got someone's doing something right with the foul throws now. You see too many in every game. But yeah, he was absolutely appalling. And I'm not taking nothing away from Bournemouth's win. But And I think a lot of the booing
It
that
was
happened at half time
the
and full
referee
time was at the
shocking, yeah.
referee. I don't think it was at the players. Do you?
Semenyo should have been sent off, right? He got a yellow card
Yeah.
in the was it in the first 20, and then another one? Was it just at the turn of the second half? I forget. Was it the start of the second half? He pulled back someone, and we all went. I remember all of us going mental, and then he just gave a free kick, but no second yellow. It was a clear tug.
And what's Richarlison got to do to win a free kick? All right, sometimes your forwards backs into players, so the referee goes 50-50. But come on, even a few of the tackles on Kudus as well, I thought he was giving us nothing. And the problem was, when things aren't going well, you've got up the ante. You've got to increase your pace. I mean, it was crying out even first half. I mean, I know managers are reluctant to make subs in the first half, but it was crying out for a change. You need more energy on the pitch, which actually Berghvall, Odegaard, and so they gave us when they came on. Funnily enough, for people saying they're not ready, at least they're brave when they come on the pitch. Berghvall was trying to get forward and make things happen, but we were so disjointed. We weren't winning any second balls, were we? And that's where you've got to work even harder. It happens. Sometimes we'll play and during the mix up of balls in the air and headers, the ball will fall to us more than it does to the opposition. But that didn't happen against Bournemouth. So you've really got to work even harder to make sure you win second balls. And we just failed in that department.
Yeah, look, I thought the referee had an absolute stinker yesterday, Adrian, but I just think that Bournemouth were the far better team. I think obviously there could have been a red card shout for Semenyo for sure. I haven't seen the highlights, to be honest, to see it again from a better angle, but I thought that was definitely. It was, yeah. Okay, cool. I just thought that it was I thought that we were tactically outclassed by Iraola, and it's a concern because what we're supposed to be loving about Frank Ball is the fact that he's on top of that stuff. Just super quick, guys. I just want to change the hang on a second. That's not right. I want to change the. I can't do it. I want to show you guys. I'll do it in a second. I'm trying to get you the QR code. If you are interested, guys, in amazing replica shirts, then please get over to okjersey.com. I'm going to see if I can hide it a little bit. There you go. Get the QR code there. I'll get it in a better situation in a second. okjersey.com. £15 shirts, 8% off with the tag with the discount code Sean SEAN, and I'll be giving away some free shirts as well over the next couple of days. Just quickly, guys, Benjamin Pavard has gone, or it looks like he's going to Marseille, according to, where's my report here? Had it a second ago. He's gone to Marseille, loan option until 2026 with option to buy and salary covered. Negotiations ongoing. Adrian, is this something that you would would you be on board the hijack for this one? Pavard, very experienced. Questions marks about whether he still got it, but he was fantastic at Bayern.
We were interested before he went to Bayern, and we had some Bayern supporters on the show, and they weren't that impressed with him. And I haven't seen a lot of him recently. He looked good before he went to Bayern, didn't he, when he was playing in the national team? But
Pavard's a quality player, mate. He comes with a hell of a lot of experience as well. He's got Champions League experience. He's a very versatile player. You haven't got to play him every game, but
why are they getting rid of him then? Why are they getting rid of him?
They're moving forward, mate. Time, Doctor. We only need him for 6 months, don't we? Like I say, this is the big thing for me. If you get one injury to a centre back, then not only can you no longer play the back five, but you can't really do anything adaptable with the back four either. If Romero goes down injured, then you've got Danzo. What happens if he gets injured, or what happens if Van der Ven gets injured? To me, as much as a left winger is a priority, if we don't bring in a centre back, there will be a situation between now and January where we have an issue in the defence. And what happens if Jed Spence gets an injury? That whole versatility tag thing, he's versatile, therefore he can play in a number of positions. Yeah, but what happens if the versatile player gets injured? Then you lose the option in every position that those things are supposed to cover. So, if Jed Spence gets injured and we lose Van der Ven or Romero, we're in trouble. And I don't care if you have Lookman on the left and Muani in the 9 and Simmons in the 10 and Kudus at the top. It's a sensational forward line. It is an unbelievably sensational forward line. But one injury at the back is problematic for me.
it's more than that as well, Sean, isn't it? Because like you got to add suspensions to that as well. If one of your centre backs gets sent off, if you pick up 5 yellow cards before 18 games, you get a 1 match suspension as well. So, yeah, and we've got all these games. I mean, like you can get, I think, 2 yellow cards in the first phase of the Champions League, and you get a suspension as well. So, so there's that, there's variables here with like what reason players might not be available apart from injuries, So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think. And we were looking at a long term. We were looking at Scalvini at Atlanta, weren't you? But I don't know what other centre backs. If Akanji has gone to Inter, I don't see Man City letting Aki go. So,
yeah, the Here We Go already came out for Akanji, so that's definitely happening. The thing about Akanji that I preferred, I know Pete was saying that he wanted Ake, but for me, Akanji made so much more sense because Akanji plays left-sided centre-back, but when he plays a full-back, he plays on the right, which is perfect because I don't want to see Spence move from the left side. So it would have been absolutely perfection. So are we going to find another player of that same mould? What other players out there play left-sided centre-back, but right-sided full-back? That would have been ideal.
Yeah.
Gertruida, maybe?
Say that again?
Gertruida, maybe? I know he's gone now as well.
He's going. Where's he going? Nottingham Forest? No, Sunderland, isn't it, or something? He would have been a fantastic player. Lustral Gertruida can play right back, right-sided centre-back. He can play left-back if he absolutely needs to. He's probably not ideal for it. And he can play in the 6. He's a top draw player. I know there's question marks around the transition, but he went from... He was amazing at Feyenoord. He went to Leipzig. He's been amazing there. And now he's going to move to Sunderland. Like
we're gonna end up with Archie Gray. Archie Gray will be the backup right back / left-sided centre back.
Phil Coys, what the F are we doing here, Sean? Muani is a great deal. I'm not saying it isn't a great deal. I'm just asking the question around what the structure of the deal might suggest, because he is a hot and cold player, Phil. I don't want to go over it too much again. I've probably bored everyone. And again, I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer. I'm always like glass half full. I'm always trying to be glass half full. When people are like throwing the toys out of the pram and let's all have a meltdown, I'm always trying to bring in the kind of the course correct and saying let's be a little bit more cognizant of the environment. I'm just saying that on this one, I think that there's and I don't know. We don't know, but like if there's no option and there's no obligation, why? If it's just down to timing and we've got more work to do, and so let's just get the structure of the loan deal in and we can just sign that contract last minute if we run out of time, and then hopefully we've got enough time to come back at 6:55 and throw in some loan obligations and stuff. That's absolutely fine with me. But generally speaking, if the selling club wants an obligation and the buying club doesn't want an option or an obligation, there's a question mark over the motivation. That's all I'm saying. I think we haven't got to be naive to think that it's always a perfect story, because it isn't.
And PSG can say hang about. You want him on loan. You think he's good enough to take on loan, but you don't think he's good enough to have an option to buy. And they could throw that at Spurs, and that would be a very valid point for them. And they probably have, actually. If you negotiate, they probably have. Yeah. So
is Dane Scarlett still at the club? I think he is. He hasn't gone out on loan.
No, he's the last one. Now Vaskovic is gone.
That tells its own story, doesn't it?
I watched him play as a 17-year-old. He was outstanding on the pitch, but he's now only 20. You'd think he was a lot older. He didn't get a crack at a wicket at Ipswich, did he? Because our ex-coach there, McKenna, didn't play him. He went to Oxford, wasn't played much, got 4 goals in about 20 games. He scored a lovely goal against Shakhtar Donetsk when Kane scored the 4 goals in his final game for us, and he did that turn and swivel on the box. And it was a good goal he got against Elfsborg as well, wasn't it? When all the kids scored, Mikey Moore scored and Ajayi scored.
That wasn't a good goal.
He's going to have a good career. That was
the first of a crucial 3 points, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
And that was the Decky cross, right? That he met, the left foot cross into the box, and he had to come and take it, and he took it well. And I thought, I mean, he's going to have a good career somewhere, and someone gives him a proper run of games. He's a natural goal scorer. He'll score goals wherever he goes, whether he gets enough or whatever. I don't think he's got a future at Spurs, though.
Yeah.
Sean, I got to jump off because I got to go get the car around to the mechanic. Can I ask you this before I go, though? Do you how hopeful are you now that we get a left winger, and how hopeful are you that left winger is Lookman before 7 o'clock?
Yeah, I'm desperately hopeful that the reason why that deal for Muani was basically pending in basic format is that it's nothing to do with his motivation to being here. It's that there wasn't enough time because we've got to go and move on to other things. And in the last hour, we've also got rid of Brian Hill. So that sort of adds to that rationale, in my opinion. I'm sure those things were probably... Well, I just think that Tottenham's intentions are to go and get another one for sure. But I don't think you'll get 2 in. And so I'm torn between, do you go and get a Lookman? And then the forward line looks cooking. The forward line looks insane. You get Lookman's going to be an absolute baller. I hope that a motivated Muani is an absolute baller. Kudus, we know, is cracking. And Xabi Simons is a game changer. Can't wait. I cannot wait. Cannot wait to see him in a Tottenham shirt. He's going to be so exciting. But I can't help but sit there on a day where I'm feeling a little bit like sorry for myself because of, the hangover and all that stuff. They're still very much a part of my mindset right now. And think about, like, one injury away and the defense is pretty shaky again. So, for me, I just think we need to, if we can, I'm sitting there going, if we can get both, amazing. But I don't know where we go. If Akanji's gone to Inter, forget City. So forget Ake, forget them. Right. And you just go and get Benjamin Pavard, right? Just go and get it done. Bring him in. He might not be the player he was, but he's far better than what we have on the bench. He can play a bit of rotation. He can be a bit versatile. Go and get me a Cambiasso. But that's probably going to be a complex deal to do at this stage if it hasn't already matured. Maybe the guy from Brentford, but you know what? He's also their captain. So at this stage, if we're just starting negotiations, if we're just starting conversations with a defender, that doesn't happen quickly. And if you're trying to do that and Lookman, and look, there's no real noise about Lookman, is there? There's just a lot of fan hype, and that Tottenham are thinking about it. If you're still thinking about it with 5 hours to go, not sure. But then who knows? Who knows? I'm still positive we'll get 1 more in, but I think we need 2, and I think we haven't got the time to do it. So,
You don't think the 2 deals can get done at the same time?
Well, if you were Chelsea or Manchester City that seem to have about 500 people in their technical staff that can do these multiple deals, but Daniel Levy seems to have this need to be involved in everything, and he's one person. So whenever he's talking about Lookman with Atalanta, he's not talking about Pavard with Bayern. He's not talking about, you know what I mean? So like, there's just time expiration of value. It's an opportunity cost. It's just the way that, only one person could do one thing at a time.
Let's hope that either Vinay or Langer or somebody is able to do a second deal and Levy just stays the hell out of it. I'm going to jump off, mate. Thanks so much for having me on.
I'm going to round it off as well. Appreciate you, Adrian. Adam, mate. Thank you so much, mate. See you soon. Well done, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
Come on,
you Spurs. Yeah,
you mentioned hangover earlier, Sean. Well,
my energy today, mate, is proper representative of how bad I feel.
But, I never get hangovers in the morning, Sean, because I don't get up to the afternoon.
I should have just carried on drinking and come on drunk rather than a hangover is the worst energy. If you're still drunk, you can be sloppy, but at least you're having fun. When you're feeling sorry for yourself, it represents itself in a weird way. Or someone just say Bastoni? Oh, geez, 3P. What we doing here, mate? What we doing here? Diakate and Bastoni, and they're never going to happen. Tell you what, Adrian, I'm also going to round it off, mate, because I've got 20 minutes and I'm going to go have a shower before I do Football Inc. Guys, you are going to be redirected over to Football Inc., but I'll see you over there in 20 minutes. Adrian, what's coming up on Spurs Diehards, mate? You doing a show today?
Ian's doing a transfer show. I think every podcast doing one a day, aren't they? But at 5 o'clock today, I don't know how long you're going for, but you might go till midnight. I mean, everyone's doing a show. So we've got one at 5. We'll take it till 7, or we'll see how it goes, But I'm well pleased. I'm so happy. If the window hadn't ended now, I know we're greedy for more. I'm well happy with what we've done. Well happy. Same. So
yeah, I'll cheer up. I'll cheer up by 8 o'clock for the Spurs.
And a few more, you cheer up even more.
Yeah. Please go over to Spurs Diehards TTID, and I'll see you in 20 minutes over on Football. You're going to be redirected. Disappear wherever you want to for the time being, but come back and come across. Sorry, what's that? Sean is an anti-Semite. How dare you? How dare you? Bye-bye, donut. See you later.
We don't need none of that crap in. We don't want politics in our podcast. It wreck your channels like that. And we are only 15 away from 1,500, I think, on Diehards. So it would be nice to get them today at some time. You know what I mean? If people only got the subscribe button, didn't you? So, yeah.
Yeah. Please get over to Adrian's channel. I'll see you guys in 20 minutes on Football Inc. Love you all. Thank you for the super chats. Have I done them all, by the way?
Big up, everyone.
One more from Daniel Houston from Deepest Darkest Peru. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody else for the super chats. Love you guys. I'll see you later on. And yeah, come on, you Spurs. Bye.
Come on, you Spurs.